Jon Jones did not look. He even said he was like, I felt goofy on the feet. He looked horrible on the feet. Obviously, he's fantastic IQ and
wrestling. Threw like a kick and like spun and was like, dude, you look unathletic.
Like spun like, and it was like
he's coming in 13 pounds lighter.
Here's the thing, you can't expect him to move as well with that much ring rust. 3 years older, 40 pounds heavier. You can't expect him to move as well.
Yeah.
I'm just like I
now
said.
He's coming off. He's another year older, and he's coming off a torn pec. People forget he just had an injury.
You watch him fight someone at light heavyweight, like before Gustafsson and stuff, and the like
his
Daniel Cormier, and you're like, this guy could be in the NBA. The way, and then you
said he's coming in. Like, you said he's coming in lighter. Lighter.
13 pounds.
People are saying he's coming at 235 instead of 248.
I love that because I don't think he needs the weight to beat Stipe.
No.
The weight, he could have an arm tied behind his back and beat this monkey.
I think he will need the weight for Aspinall. That's what.
Oh man, I think he needs everything he can get.
Yeah.
I think he might have to shoot something in.
The thing about those type of guys, like when they have no meat on them, because I feel like when you got like a little fupa as a guy, it takes away from how big your dong can really be. Does that make sense? You know how they say like for every 10 pounds you lose, you gain an inch
of dick.
Yeah. You could have.
I could have. Yeah. You're poking Billy in the fucking belly button right here.
So that like type of skinny, yeah. I don't want to talk about it. Actually, I just had a train of thought that really got me upset.
What show do you think this is?
Yeah, this is episode 18 of In the Clinch.
Oh,
yeah. Dude, I'm so tired.
I'm insanely tired.
Anyway, it is. What is happening? All right, take everything off the table.
No, it's good.
This is episode 18 of In the Clinch. We talk fighting, fist fighting, cock fighting, dog fighting, kid fighting. Bully beatdown, child beatdown, parent beatdown.
This week of fighting is
pretty electric.
Well, I said this.
There's a couple good fights.
If you tune in the Clinch before, you know we talked about how great October was, how much of a slate we had there, and we were right. Before the first week of October, we said how great the main events of October were, which included even boxing, right? But we'll just talk about the UFC's pay-per-view main events of October. We thought Alex Pereira versus Khalil Roundtree and Max Holloway and Topuria were as two best main events of the year.
Yeah,
and after watching them, I think we were right.
Yeah,
easily Topuria Max is the best main event of the. I haven't seen a fight. I have
to say R.I.P. to Max in terms of.
I mean, he's done.
Yeah,
said he's also R.I.P. to featherweight Max.
I was gonna say it's done in featherweight, but that run of not getting knocked down, not getting hurt, not getting this, not getting that, to literally have a guy standing over you, pounding your head in, But the crazy part is it took this long for that to happen.
At what point?
Topuria is very good.
At what point do they start talking about him?
Don't do it.
All time.
Just stop it. Nope. Don't do that.
Because I know I said a crazy statement, but I think the greatest featherweight of all time is Ilia Topuria.
Jose Aldo.
And the thing is, like, I think the two best.
It was Volk for you a year ago.
I think it was Volk and Max.
Can't do that.
I think it's Volk and Max, and then if you go in there, and Volk and Max are top three, and if you go in there and knock out, put their lights out, two of the guys in the top three, I mean, what are you going to say? Volk's better all time than Ilia? It's like,
yeah.
I'd say Aldo is.
It's hard to do that, though, in fighting.
But also then,
you can't do that.
I could say Connor's up there because he beat Max.
And Aldo.
It's a different type of Max.
No,
though.
It's not.
Well, then now it's a different
how
type
is
of
it
Max
not a different type of Max?
beat.
Now he's fucking 40 years old.
Or Volk, too.
Max is not even 35.
I'm just saying, though.
We just said he has 1,300 plus head strikes now against Topuria.
And he hasn't been the champion in fucking...
And then Volk had back-to-back KO previously did that, too.
Yeah.
But here's my thing.
He's not the GOAT.
If you look at the featherweight run of Volk, okay?
I'm not saying he's the GOAT either.
If you look at the featherweight run he had, he beat Max. And who did he beat? Like, before he fought Islam at lightweight?
Yair. No, what's his name? Brian Ortega.
I'm saying, what was that run he went on? He beat he beat the shit out of Korean Zombie.
Yeah.
Beat the shit out of Brian Ortega.
No,
beat
Brian
the shit.
Fucking choked him out.
Beat the shit out of Yair Rodriguez. Beat the piss out of Max in the third fight. Like, to sit there and go, like...
That's better
to sit there and go, to sit there to go in under a year. Exactly. This is my point. To sit there and go in under a year, he lost all that and he's out of his prime. It's like, no, I still think he is. When was his last featherweight fight before the Topuria fight?
Volk?
Yes. I would like to say it was in like July.
Pereira fight.
Right now,
I want to say he fought Topuria in February, and he fought in July featherweight before that.
So Volk fought Topuria February 17th, 2024.
Right.
He fought Islam October 21st, 2023. He fought Yair July 8th, 2023.
So July to February, he lost it? I don't think so.
No, he just fought too much, and he, you can't bring your A game in that type.
So
of
let me
sport.
ask
I
you
don't
this.
think he lost it, but he is 36 years old and is coming off a head kick KO.
But
as well as bulking up.
The Yair, it was like the Yair, after the Islam first fight, where a lot of people thought he had won, and then the Yair fight, it was like, this guy's in his prime and the best right now. So you're telling me 6 months later, he lost it all, and that Volk,
I'll tell you,
Ilia
in 3
didn't beat
years.
I'm not arguing that because I have no problem with Ilia versus Volk.
And also,
do.
sorry to
What
interrupt
I'm
you, but
saying
I
is
think
those-
Ilia is still climbing into his prime. I think
Oh,
he's getting,
100%
he's
agree
getting
with that.
better.
I don't.
What I'm saying is Volk at 36. If you're gonna say Max was young against Conor, you have to say Volk is old against Ilia.
And so was Max.
That's fair.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And it's like, because that's the thing, like with Silva, it's like, well, he was at the end of his career when all this shit happened.
Again, look at
like
Max. Look at Max. His most recent fight prior to that was going up to lightweight and knocking out a dude that I mean, I don't know if we've ever seen him put out cold
Justin
and
Gaethje's.
dominating, as well as at featherweight. Look at his run outside of Volkanovski.
I think Max and Volk are still top contenders, so I don't think this is a cheap victory by Ilia. It's kind of like people saying Usman's run, like, ooh, Burns isn't that good. No, he caught Burns when he was good. Burns now is too old now.
Like, if you look back and go, oh, well, the Max that won all those belts wasn't the Max Ilia fought, I would say, yeah, it was.
It's
And he put him to fucking sleep.
people, he sleep Gaethje, and people are like, he should fight Islam, actually.
Yeah.
He should be the number one contender. So
Mhm.
it's like, I think Ilia, and I'm not, the thing is, though,
People were saying Ilya's scared and Max is going to show him, and then when, so that's my thing. Max is going to show him out. Ilya's scared. He doesn't stand a chance. Volk was like, don't let
I
him
don't
fight
think
Max.
anyone
Volk
said
was
that.
like, don't let him fight Max because Max is going to beat the shit out of him. Let him fight me. Let me beat the shit out of him. And then he knocks both those guys out, and they're like, Volk and Max are old. It's like, no, they're not.
no, definitely not.
Who's they? Though?
And here's the thing. You said that
Who's they?
the Volk fought. This is just kind of the consensus around
No,
town.
I don't. That's why I don't listen to people.
And the thing is, like, you said Volk fought too often. Now he hasn't fought since February. So if he fights, which they say Ilya's next fight will be Volk, it'll be over a year of recovery. What happens when Ilia knocks him out then?
he can't be the GOAT yet.
Here's what
That's
I'm
all
saying, though, is people are saying Ilia's chasing Max and Volk. They're chasing Aldo, all of them. So here's Aldo. So Aldo was 7-0 at featherweight. Lost at lightweight. So he's 7-0 at featherweight. Then went 25-0 at featherweight.
It's not even close.
With 2 defenses in WEC of the featherweight title, and then 7 more at UFC. So UFC only recognizes him as 7
You
defenses.
literally watch
he
a
has
guy-
9 title defenses. Didn't lose.
And I hate to be that guy here. I really do.
No,
I
you
think Aldo is fantastic,
can't do this either.
and he is for sure top 3.
Let me tell you, Chad Mendez, he beat. Korean Zombie, Frankie Edgar, Kenny Florian, Uriah Faber, Cub Swanson.
Those guys, none of them suck, and they didn't suck when the UFC was what it was then.
And then he came back after losing to Conor and won the belt again against Frankie Edgar.
Who was a 155er 10 years ago?
BJ Penn.
If that guy fought Islam, he would get his fucking ass kicked, fucked, and then fucked again.
So if
And they'd spit in his ass.
If 145er, best one on there, in my opinion, is Frankie Edgar. If he came right now to Ilia, you think he makes it out of the first round? I
No,
don't think
because
that.
I'm saying
if prime Frankie.
I just said the same thing about Islam and
That's
BJ
what makes.
Penn.
So I was gonna say I hate to be that
Don't
guy,
disrespect BJ Penn.
but no,
That guy sucks.
Prime BJ Penn. You guys have only
Islam
seen...
would kill him.
he would murder him.
Get the fuck out.
I mean, Islam would win.
No, he would not.
But
He
that's
would
my
beat
thing.
the living fuck out of him.
Like,
You guys
UFC
didn't
when
watch Prime BJ Penn.
Yeah, I've seen him fight plenty of times.
No, you have not.
when the UFC was founded,
The sport sucks.
it's a lot like going, bro. Bill Russell's the best.
The UFC in the 2000s was the
that's
NBA
why.
in
That's
the
why
1950s.
Jose Aldo's not the go-to.
But Jose Aldo is still fighting now and still...
I
we're
just
saying-
agreed that he's the GOAT.
Like,
I'm saying
I know. I
I know
agree
it
with that.
sucks now because he's older and whatnot. But like, yeah,
You
he's
can't
still
tell me
fighting
Jose Aldo
and
'cause
what?
Who Marab is the champion at 135, right? Mind you, Aldo in his old age went down 10 pounds. And Marab was 0 for 24 on takedowns.
No, I know.
And then now in his last fight, Danny, you picked him. Who won that fight, Aldo versus Batista?
Yeah,
Fucking
what's
Batista.
Batista? Aldo won. I feel.
That's what I'm saying. Not the judge's scorecard.
Okay,
If
but
you're
look at
watching the
Aldo
fight,
Jan,
unbiased.
Piotr Jan. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? He got killed.
I'm saying
Yeah,
that
but
the
it's-
elite
it's
fighters
fine.
today are insanely better
I
and
agree.
more
That's
skilled.
why, like Connor.
But you can't say like, oh, well, You know, the UFC, it's like, well, Aldo, what's he supposed to do? And he's still fighting now.
Again, if you look at all those the greatest of all time, it's like, well, the guys that he's competing with, Max, Connor, this and that, he's lost to them. He's literally lost to them multiple times.
Yeah, but does GOAT go into what you've done or who you've beat? Because then, Ilia's the GOAT. He beat Volk and Max, and they're 2 top 5 dudes of all time.
Because there is this
work like that.
thing where
it's
like,
both.
if like to me, like Max did beat Aldo, but I'm like, yeah, Prime Aldo beats Max. He fucking he leg kicks him.
This is what, to me, this is my only argument for GOAT.
And this is, mind you,
I think in the
Aldo
future, everyone's. I'm just saying,
accident.
in the future, everyone's going to say Topuria. The reason why I say it now is because, what was I just about to say? Oh, Ilia in his prime. Everyone is in their prime. In the history of featherweight, Ilia beats them all.
Here's the thing with this.
That's just my thought.
I don't want to say this day and age. Tom Aspinall's the heavyweight GOAT.
Yeah, exactly.
Alex Pereira is the light heavyweight.
He's the GOAT ever. Khabib's a lightweight.
How many middleweights?
Izzy
was the middleweight
like,
GOAT.
Dude, no,
Usman was the welterweight GOAT.
No,
Islam's the lightweight
no,
GOAT. That's the only one I can really give is Islam.
you could give Islam, but my
featherweight
thing is,
GOAT. Featherweight GOAT just jumped. It was
So,
Max.
every fight.
It's Volk. It's Ilia.
that's the consensus. And I'm
135 is the only one that's
that was
kind
what
of
I
wide.
said. He said about the prime. I'm like, okay, Sugar Sean, you'd say he's in his prime, and it's like, well, he just lost. So,
but I'm fighting against the consensus by saying that no, people wouldn't say all this, that, and the third. I would say welterweight Usman. When everyone was saying Usman, I was like, bro, it is not Usman. GSP. Are you fucking out of your mind? When everyone was saying Izzy, I was like, Izzy's great, but it's Anderson Silva. If someone were to say Alex, I don't think anyone says it. No one's that dumb to say Alex is the light heavyweight GOAT already when there's Jon Jones.
no, just saying in terms of like,
Just saying that people are saying Alex. They're showing like his resume against Habib's. Like, look at his title defenses, this and that. It's like,
well,
if
Khabib's
you're
a
gonna-
bad example because that guy fought shit.
but here's the thing: if you're gonna do an MMA fighter, like if you're gonna be like if they're this weight class, Habib is dominating Alex Pereira. He's taking that fucking man down and mauling.
If it was pound for pound, like if they were equal
I
at
would
weight,
like to see that.
Khabib would kill him.
yeah,
I don't know.
the only
I do
guy.
I
think-
don't
I
know
could see-
Alex's take. We
I
haven't
could
seen him even try to get taken down.
Yeah, he got taken out against Jon. I thought he lost the fight against Blachowicz.
Who?
Alex Pereira. You remember that fight?
He knocked him out. Did he not?
No, that was a split
It was
decision,
split
and
decision.
yeah, I think Jan actually
What
did.
fight? When was that?
That's
was
his
his
first
first
fight
fight
at
at
light heavyweight, and people were like, "Oh, maybe he shouldn't have went up."
Oh yes, I do. I thought Alex won that fight.
I thought Jan won that fight.
I'm fine if you want. I'm fine with him winning.
It was close
but
enough.
It was one of those where I don't think they rewarded Jan for laying and praying, but then again, they rewarded Marab and Batista for laying against the fence with Aldo. They
He
couldn't
didn't-
take
he
that
didn't
man
get-
down.
he didn't-
Batista won the fight.
I'm fine. I picked him.
He won the fight.
I'm fine with
Yeah,
that.
it's whatever.
But the feather, and it's the same thing as like the things they know now. It's like, well, Jose Aldo could have been like.
That's why I'm
it's just
saying,
like
when
he
people
would've
say
been-
that-
Magomed Ankalaev better take him down.
When they say stuff about
yeah, he
when they
better
say
have-
stuff about like, oh, when you look at this guy play like Patrick Mahomes, and it's like, well, yeah, dude, but when fucking
If you want to,
John Elway was playing football, you didn't do this type. You didn't run this type of
and that's
offense.
the thing. If you want to do just generational goats, I'm cool with that
That's
as well.
what-
But I don't know when a generation ends and when a generation begins.
A year ago today, everybody was saying, bro, Volk's the featherweight GOAT. He's beat Max Holloway 3 times. Before that, it was like,
He
this
almost
guy-
beat Islam. He should have.
Right
beat
now, we
Islam.
have Francis Ngannou, Izzy, and Usman. These are the 3 goats of goats ever of their weight class. And now it's like Izzy has lost like his last 3 fights. Usman, has lost the belt. Francis doesn't even like it. It's very
I still
today.
think
It's
Izzy-
very clicky to be like, oh
Yeah.
my god, he's the GOAT.
Like, I'm
This
not
guy's the
saying
GOAT.
Drakus is better than Izzy all time. I still think Izzy is the second best middleweight of all time.
It's
behind
not
him.
even close. They're like up at the roof, and Drakus is on the first floor.
Yeah.
Like that's what I'm saying.
This next one will be interesting though. If he does beat Khamzat, then it's like, ooh,
Yeah, and I'll tell you right now, I don't
He's not.
think so. That guy, man, holy fuck.
Dreykus has a motor, but Khamzat has a different type of fucking motor that is
But if you look at
unbelievable.
in the clinch, if you watch those last 2 in the clinches, Judy predicted Alex Pereira knockout 4th round. If you bet that, Judy's a dog for that. And then Billy predicted Ilia Topuria. I went and watched it back. Ilia Topuria 3rd round, I think you said.
I said round 4.
I thought you said 3.
No, I said 4.
Might have
But
said
I wish
3
I
or
said
4.
3.
I think you said 3 or 4. I definitely heard you say 3. I
Well,
could be wrong.
I'll take it, but
But I'm just saying that's pretty crazy to get those on the button.
I'm not very good with that.
What?
Saying like when they will happen.
Yeah, you don't. It's not. No one expects you to be good at that.
No, I'm just saying.
I don't think
it's
those
even
guys know when
picking
it'll
fights.
happen.
You could say whatever you wanted to, and then fucking like Aldo Connor. It's like this should be a toss up, and he gets knocked out in 14 seconds.
That was amazing. How shocked were you when Max went down? Where were you at when Max went down?
That was
Because I knew it watching the fight. I knew it was going to come.
I didn't know it would.
I tell you the thing is though with me, like Max, like I'm not as big as fan as Max as most MMA fans are.
Yeah.
Like I think he's a great fighter, top 3 featherweight of all time, and everything like that. But I'm also just kind of like I'm just like okay, like
I'm
he's
like
an
that with
exciting
everybody.
fighter, but I don't have a personal connection to him like everybody else does.
Yeah.
Type of deal. So
I really like Ilia.
it was one of those where, and then like I'm the best boxer, and then UFC, it's like you don't know how to box. Like you can strike really well for MMA.
Who do you think's the best boxer in the UFC?
It might be Ilia Topuria.
I think it's Ilia Topuria.
Like in terms of boxing, like
what does he do?
I'm talking about actual boxing though.
His
Like,
grappling's a threat, definitely. He was a grappler when he came into the UFC, and his grappling's a threat, and everyone knows that. But in his most recent fights, he's fought strikers and he's outboxed them. He's never thrown a head kick in his entire career. He only throws leg or body kicks. He doesn't throw those. He throws heavy ones, but he doesn't throw like. He's not a 20 kick per round guy. He's a boxer.
yeah, he throws kicks to keep the threat of a kick. He'll get hit, he just wants to hit the calf. And
I think he's
like
been
that.
kind of fortunate to fight a lot of boxers, though. I think if Sean O'Malley came up to
Well,
featherweight,
he fought Bryce Mitchell. That's a grappler.
I meant striking wise.
Yeah, as opposed
He
to,
wants a grappler.
as opposed to
That's what people don't realize. Like,
yeah, he wants a
if
grappler.
Bryce Mitchell's a wrestler,
as
it's
opposed
like,
to
that favors Ilia Topuria.
as opposed to a kickboxer. Which
I think Sean O'Malley would be a hard fight to pick.
I don't think so, because I think that Ilia, if Merab was able to take Sean down, I think Ilia is obviously bigger than Merab, and he has the Greco-Roman and BJJ.
If he chooses to take Sean down.
If he chooses to, and also what I noticed is like Gaethje, a lot of his power is just from his arms.
Gaethje sucks.
Ilia punches like Mike Tyson and boxers do. Their power is coming from their legs.
Yeah.
He's huge.
Like when people are like, that was such a short little, like that wasn't a wide punch. I'm like, because your power comes from these hit, like it's a like
it's
swinging
just
a
his
baseball
hand is
bat,
basically hitting you in the face. His legs are fucking crushing you.
like a baseball bat or a golf club.
your hip rotation.
Your hip rotation, it's like his whole reputation is so clean, and it's just like that's where
Everything
the
he
power
throws
comes
is so straight and so clean.
from. Yeah, he doesn't ever really, Max
Nothing
was catching
looping.
him. Max was catching him a few times and everything like
Everything's
that.
short. Everything's tight. Everything's fast.
Yeah, Max popped him too.
Yeah,
Max is great.
and that's the thing about this fighting
doesn't
game
have
is
power.
though is like
He has power. He just doesn't utilize it. When you see him, like when he goes like right here, he'll knock anybody out there. Like Korean Zombie, when Korean Zombie made it a dogfight, Max was like, "Let's go," knocked him out. Gaethje, let's go, knocked him out.
He should have done the 10-second thing at the beginning.
He should have. I agree, and especially in hindsight.
Well, not even that, but I thought I know that he's a good fighter, but with the power Ilia has and
Max
just
is
how that goes, I don't think he would. There's no way he was going to fight. Like it was like Volk too. It was like it's going to take one time for
Ilia's
this
like-
guy to catch you, and then
Ilia's like, I'm gonna catch you regardless. We might as well get it done. See who you might as well try to catch me.
that's what I thought.
I honestly, I love Ilia. For him to, say, I didn't think he was actually gonna do it. He stood. He said, "Come on."
I'm a
And
big
Max
fan
said,
of
"No, come on."
Ilia.
And then after the fight, he said, "I told everyone I was gonna be the first guy to knock out Max."
And here's the
And
thing.
they asked him about 155. He said, "I'm gonna be the first guy to submit Islam Makhachev."
Here's the thing about going through. Now I'm thinking about going through resumes. Like you were like the only impressive person on there is, who you said, Frankie Edgar or
Mhm.
Chad Mendez, and it's like okay, then I can go through Ilia's resume. It's like Josh Emmett.
No,
and
Bryce Mitchell, Josh Emmett.
I could say
They
Josh
all
Emmett
suck.
isn't that impressive. When
Jai
Josh Emmett
Herbert.
actually is an impressive fighter, and it's like
It's because we watch them now, though.
Like people could say Donald Cerrone isn't impressive. It's like no, if you watch
Watch
Donald
them,
Cerrone, and it's the same thing with Frankie Edgar, Chad Mendez.
No, they're impressive
Cub Swanson,
fighters.
and everything like that.
I don't mean they're not impressive. I just mean
because people
if
are
you
saying
took
this about
them-
Jones' resume. Oh, who did he beat? He beat Machida. He beat Rua.
no.
he
I
beat
think Frankie
Rampage.
Edgar's a great for that era. For them, they can only fight who you're fighting in your era and what you're doing in your era. And they dominated the best guys of the era. Jose Aldo for sure. There's something to be said about that. I'm just saying, if you took Frankie Edgar in his prime and plopped him in 2024,
against like Volk.
he would get killed.
Okay,
Like
flop
Volk,
Ilia
Max,
Topuria in
Ilia.
2040 UFC, he'd get his ass kicked.
Yeah, that's probably true.
So what the fuck is the point of
And
that
that's
statement?
that's.
I don't
easy to
know
say,
how
though,
true
but
that is.
You can say that, but it's
Yeah.
like all these.
At a certain
all-
point, the sport catches up, and there's not much
No,
more.
all these jujitsu guys do all this new shit and everything like that, and in MMA the Gracies are fucking awful. I will give you
They're
that.
horrible.
But
It's
when they get to jujitsu tournaments, they don't do any of this like fancy guards. They do like the very basic jujitsu, and they win because they have the fundamentals down so well.
That's what I'm saying. At a certain point, it balances itself out. Like, yeah, there'll be the calf kick. There'll be certain things that come in. It's like basketball. If you plop Jordan in this era, he'll be fine.
It's the same thing like Baron Davis said about.
There's
JJ.
what else are you going to
He
figure
said
out
about
in basketball?
But that's the thing too is like JJ Redick versus Jerry West, and Baron Davis was saying like this guy had to work 40 hours a week. Was a plumber, and he's Jerry West, and you had the 40 hours a week plus you were playing basketball, and you're just JJ Redick.
Right.
So it's like there are guys where like Bill Russell, Jerry West would be great anytime. Jon Jones in any era would be great. Tom Aspinall seems like in any era he'll be fine and everything like that.
We'll find
You
out.
take 6'6", 265 pounds with that type of power, that type of 1-2, that type of and he's preferably a grappler, you'll be fine.
Like Alex Pereira to me, he is lucky that he's going up against like this light heavyweight of strikers, and there's no DC or no Jones,
Glover Teixeira.
or even no Rumble.
Anthony Rumble Johnson, Glover Teixeira.
R.I.P.
Even Gustafson in his prime and something like that. He would give. I think Alex would beat him, but it would be a tough matchup.
It'd be a harder fight than people. That's why I said, though, if you look now and people say, if you said someone Alexander Gustafsson who just started watching the UFC, they'd be like, they don't even know who that is. And it's like, dude, that guy was a very good fighter.
Khamzat Chimaev said that's the best guy he's ever trained with. And he said the reason why I think Jon Jones is the GOAT is because he beat that guy twice, and that's the best fighter I've ever seen.
And the second time he dog
Killed
walked
him.
him. And then Pat sent me this thing. Eddie Alvarez said that he was in training with Ilia.
Because they're Swedish.
And they were obviously in Europe somewhere, and there was Dagestani guys. I don't know how good these guys are, but Ilia was taking them down and just
knocking
dragging
them out
them
with
into
will.
deep waters and shit like that on the
He's
ground.
like, he was just knocking everyone out.
Yeah, and I'm like, I don't know who these Dagestani guys are though, too, because it's like
He'd just be some dude from
because
Dagestan.
granted, we see the Dagestani guys that are the greatest, but there's 6 of them. I have no idea who are like the other 120 that are just 4 and 8.
Khabib's cousin just made his debut. His name's Muhammad Ali Nurmagomedov.
Good for
I
him.
said, good luck living up to that, pal.
Yeah.
No pressure.
Because the
He
same thing,
fucked that dude
Khabib
up.
obviously
He did
fought a
also
bunch
kick
of
the shit out of
Dagestani guys, and they were all like 4 and 8 when he fought them in his 9th, 10th. And that's the thing too, is you have to go.
You don't just be from Dagestan and you're the best fighter ever.
no.
But there are a select few that are.
But that's also the thing too, because I look back on the records, but like now if you look at Devin Haney's record, he beat Loma and he beat Ryan Garcia.
Right. He
And
lost
it's
to
like,
both of them.
I watched the fights. He won. He lost. Yeah, exactly.
Loma's the best boxer as far as pure boxing goes in this sport right now.
And that's another thing too, like Loma Tank. Loma's 36, 37, 38. Had shoulder surgery 3 years ago.
Loma right now, if they fought in 2 months, I would take Loma to win that fight.
I would pick Loma too as a pure skill.
He's so good.
Dude,
Tank does have that
Boxing
power though.
sucks though.
We've
Oh,
talked-
yeah.
we've
But I was
talked
gonna
too
say-
much about it, and we've only talked about it for 10 seconds.
Yeah, but I was
That's
gonna
where
say
it's
with the
brutal.
slate we've had in October, look at the start of November now. You have the 2 goats of like our era. Mike Tyson's the fucking goat of our era in boxing, and Jon Jones is the goat of the history of MMA, and they fight Friday, Saturday.
Here's the thing
I feel like
about
I'm coming
boxing
at you
too.
a lot, but I think Floyd's better than Mike Tyson.
No, Mike's a much better defensive boxer than Floyd, even in his prime.
Yeah, well, Floyd's better at winning.
Just depends on how you look at it.
Here's the thing. That's
I don't-
the thing,
I think
like,
prime
even
Mike Tyson-
undefeated doesn't mean you're the best.
It sucks. Like prime Mike
Well, I mean,
Tyson,
you know.
I think there's no boxer that
Then
Wait, no. You go fuck yourself. Undefeated does mean you're the best.
no, yeah.
We can't do the wins losses thing and the stats thing.
So Habib's lightweight goat. You just
Yeah, he's got to be. I mean, right now, no. Who else? I mean,
Who,
right now,
Islam?
who is?
Islam.
Yeah, I mean, well, I'm saying like I said, he's got to,
Undefeated doesn't mean you're the GOAT, though. Like, what's his name? Sugar Ray Robinson? He
Yeah.
started out his career like 74-0 or something, and then he lost, and then he went like 152 and won.
But
yeah.
Floyd also fought. Did he fought more champions than anybody? Like the stats go with it. He wasn't just.
No, Floyd's great.
He wasn't
Floyd's
50-0
great.
fighting this like fucking Eric McLaughlin. 40.
But again, you got to go back
Well, he
and
did
look.
go. He was 49-0 and fought Conor McGregor in boxing.
I look back.
Oh, yeah, but
I think Floyd might have lost that first Madonna fight from what I remember watching, as well as the Oscar De La Hoya fight.
The De La Hoya Madonna ones are definitely questionable, but they gave it to him. But again, that's another thing.
Go look
If
at
you
Mike
back and watch
Tyson's
it.
early fights before he went to prison and the Buster Douglas thing and all that. There's no question about who won those because the other guy was doesn't breathe anymore.
And
I
also,
can't do boxing.
Look at
man.
Mike Tyson's
Boxing does
Look
suck.
at Mike Tyson's skill before he fired Cuss's right hand man. I can't remember the guy's name, he's a great trainer.
Jeremy.
I think it was Timothy
Keen?
actually. No, but he fired him and then hired a whole new thing, and they were like, just go knocking out people, and it's like all his movement stopped and his defense. Like Uncle Alfred said, he's the best boxer of all time, and he's the greatest defensive.
Oh, yeah,
mind.
let's stop the boxing type. Let's just do this real quick. Quick prediction. Who do you got on Friday, Jake Paul or Mike Tyson?
Oh,
What
man.
time will that fight be happening?
At night. The main card starts at 5.
So we'll probably be at the airport.
Yeah.
No, the way they do all those walkouts though, it
You
might
never
be-
know.
yeah.
Boxing, literally, the main card could start at 5
Well,
and
the
finish
Spirit
at midnight.
Wi-Fi is $10.
You could do it. I'll do it.
Good.
Well, when you on there, I text you if it's coming on, so you don't have to pay for it.
Yeah.
Who do you got?
I mean,
You can't actually go and pick a 60-year-old man to beat a
my
28-year-old
thing.
steroided out.
I personally am going to take Jake Paul.
yeah, I got to Jake
I
Paul.
feel like you just have to. I want Mike
Max
Tyson.
looked good, though.
I want Mike Tyson to win.
This is another one I heard a while ago. For every year of age that he is, you get $1,000. Okay? So let's say I'm 5 years old and you pick me to be 5. If you beat me, you get $5,000. What age would you could make Mike Tyson any age up to 40? What age would you pick him to be? And if you have to win, you get that amount of money.
40.
That makes sense?
40.
So you would take $40 and you have to beat Mike Tyson and you get $40,000.
I guess I could take a shot. I don't know. 12-year-old Mike Tyson probably fucks this up.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
A 12-year-old Mike Tyson.
In what, boxing?
He was a junior Olympic champion. He's knocked. They like reports. If you look at his size, his neck size and stuff, he was a grown man and he was knocking out.
At what
he
age?
reportedly knocked out a 28-year-old in the boxing training at 12.
Give me 7 and I'll take $7,000.
I said, yeah, I'll just take a quick 7 G's.
Was
I
it
said 8.
Can I say 7.5?
No, you got to say 7 or.
That's the thing is you.
What's his age? 7. He might be 7 in fucking 340 days. No, he just turned the age.
We fight him on his birthday.
Fight him on his birthday, and I'm going to take an 8-year-old.
Yeah, I'll take.
I think 10 and up, you're risking.
I'd say 10 is probably the highest I'd go in terms of the low age, and I guess like if you want to make the most money, you have to go 40. I don't think you're gonna win though.
You're gonna die for sure.
Yeah,
that's not. That's the dumbest answer.
That was the dumbest answer.
I'm saying if you're just going for
it's 8 or less. Is the only answer.
Do you think you could beat Mike Tyson now?
No.
So why would you take 40?
I'm saying
He
not
wasn't.
me.
He's
I'm
not
not
better
saying
at
me.
60.
I'm saying if somebody's like, I just want to make the most money possible, I'm gonna go for a 40-year-old Mike Tyson. It's like good on you. I don't think you're gonna win. I would just take the quick.
Do you think you could beat Mike Tyson now?
Fighting him?
Boxing him, yeah.
Are you fucking stupid?
Do you think you'll be able to beat him when he's 65,
No.
70,
No.
80?
I don't know, dude. I don't think you understand. We don't know how to fight.
No, when he's 80 though.
I
You
completely
don't.
agree.
We don't know how to fight.
I think
Is what
that
you
80.
don't understand.
But I'm saying I want to get where.
I don't know,
If he
man.
lives to 90, how old can you finally be?
I can't tell you what he's gonna look like. Is he in a wheel? If he's in a wheelchair, I think my odds are pretty good.
Yeah.
If he's got tubes, if he had a
Yeah.
stroke, and then I'm
just
good.
saying, and I'm not being.
He's
rude.
generally
If
healthy
you put
and dies at natural causes at 94.
If you put us 3 in a ring with someone who knew what they were doing, you would be like have you?
You would go, oh no.
Jake Paul would beat the absolute piss out of all three
He
of
would
us
kill
in the
us.
boxing ring.
Well, no shit. I'm
That's what I'm
talking.
saying.
If we went to a boxing gym and there was a kid that's been there for 6 months, that's my age, he would fucking murder me in that boxing.
If there's
Oh,
a
yeah.
kid that's been training since he was 10 years old and he was 16, he would murder us.
Yeah,
That's not a knock on me. I'm just saying, like, if you're like,
that's
oh,
for any
you think-
that's for any combat
You think
sport,
you could
though.
beat? That's at any. You think you could beat Mike Tyson at 70? It's like, dude, probably not. I've been in like
But I was gonna
less than
say,
5 fights in my
my whole
life,
point was
and they were all just like
Quick, whatever's.
just throwing. It's just like, oh, I didn't realize I was gonna fight today.
It's like a pro wrestling brawl in the Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
That shit's happening.
But I was gonna say like I feel like basketball it finds its balance. Like what are they gonna be doing in 2050 that they aren't doing now? They'll be like, oh, big man
Well-
shoot. It's like put Shaq in this era, he'll be fine.
Well, what the only thing that they'll do in terms of like the average player now is so much more skilled.
Yeah, like you didn't have the average guy. Like if you
I
look
think-
if you look at the skill of Michael Jordan, it's like everybody can do that and more, and they're
Yeah,
6'10".
that layup stuff that
Jamal
switching
Murray's
hands,
doing
it's
that
like
every day.
okay, John Moran did that 4 times in a game last week. Bless you.
Here's the thing,
Bless
bless
you.
you,
Thank you.
is that I don't think a lot of these guys can get to the fundamentals as good as Michael and
Me
Kobe
neither.
can, and that's the problem. That's where you win is fundamentals.
I
no
actually
matter
think
what you say.
basketball's fallen off. I think if you put a lot of these guys in that era, they did not have the drive and the competitive nature to be able to compete with those guys.
Depends on what player you're talking about.
I think Anthony Edwards could.
I think like Kevin Durant,
Could.
those guys would have no chance at stopping him.
No, I think they would it would be similar.
You don't
No
think
one now
Dennis
can
Rodman
stop
could
him.
fuck with Kevin Durant
No
enough? You
shot.
think Kevin Durant is mentally tough enough to not be fucked with by Dennis Rodman?
He would still. He shoots 50, 40, 90 on the best guys today. He would still shoot 50, 40, 90.
Yeah,
I'm not saying that, but for a 7-game series,
It's not a not. He's what? He would average 30. He's never not.
he would.
no,
He'd average 30.
I'm not saying he's not.
I'm just saying.
In 2094, he'd average 30. In
Yeah,
1994, he'd average 30.
That's what I'm saying. If you're talking Kevin Durant, if you're
No
talking
one will
Kelly
ever be able
Oubre,
to
it's
guard
like
him.
okay,
Yeah.
well,
Yeah, I think the next generation is going to be like a Victor Wembanyama, but he's as big as Steven Adams.
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That has to be it. And even then,
What are we getting into in the NBA? In
I
10
don't know.
years?
That's just fucking.
No,
even
I'm
then-
saying like what's coming around the corner.
and even
with
then,
those
I'd still
guys.
take Prime Shaq over all these guys.
So do I.
Like they're talking about,
You
like,
can't knock. That'll
they
never
talk about
not
the
work.
2001 Lakers versus 2017 Warriors. I'm like, the 2001 Lakers are just slowing everything down, and Shaq is getting all your.
The
big
only
men
way you can
fouled outs.
improve, if Shaq could shoot 90% from the free throw line, is the only way that you would go, well, that to put that guy in any era.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's get back to fucking in the clinch.
All right. Shara Magomedov knocks out Armin
That was
Petrosian.
awesome.
Yeah. Dan Ige
He's
sucks.
awesome. And who was his next fight? Oh, Paulo Costa wants him.
That guy's a fucking nut.
He's hilarious.
I like Paulo
Magomed.
Costa.
I need to see that.
I just don't know what Paulo Costa's showing up to that fight.
I actually think he could win that fight. He's like
Bullet?
Chara's not going to be a
That
champion.
guy's
Costa should
170,
beat him easy.
185.
Yeah, 185.
That dude is?
Mhm.
Oh, no, he sucks then. I thought he was 155. I think we had this discussion.
No, he's not going to.
He's not
That
good.
dude
He's not.
stinks.
He's not a top tenner.
No, not even.
He needs to keep these. The UFC is smart. They think we're not. They think we're dumb. He's going to keep getting like lower level strikers. Like I hate to say it, he's not lower level, but they'll give him like Kevin Holland.
He's not clean enough. And then I think Kevin Holland beats him. But yeah, Kevin Holland's at best a 9-10.
I know it's 170, but he's at 185. But they would give him like Steven Thompson. Be like, go beat.
185?
They'd be like, go beat the 42-year-old. You know what I mean?
Yes. Yeah, exactly. They give him and Steven Thompson. It's like Steven Thompson might win that.
They
one.
would give him Joaquin Buckley. Like they'd be like, he could beat these
Joaquin
guys.
Buckley at 170 is a problem.
But I'm saying they would not give him a guy like his next fight. 185. Let me think. His next fight wouldn't be obviously whatever. It wouldn't be Khamzat. It wouldn't be Gilbert Burns.
It wouldn't be.
It wouldn't be Usman. They would just go, no, it's gonna end the Shara Bullet stuff.
Like he called out who Izzy.
Yeah,
Okay.
that was smart for him to do.
That's smart for him to
It
do.
was?
but
That's the best way to get in top 3.
No shot.
That's the best way for him to get a title
Who else
shot.
should he
but-
kick his
but
fucking-
Who else should he fight to get in the top 3?
Sean Strickland.
Yeah,
Izzy will kick his fucking ass.
Strickland or they'll both kick his ass.
Dude, Izzy is...
Yeah, they both will.
Izzy, I don't know what's going on, if it's age or
But
what.
Strickland's
that
gonna
guy,
fight. Strickland's fighting for the belt next. That's what they said. They think.
Okay, we're talking about goats and this and that. The fighting, these guys... Because Sean Strickland sucks.
Yeah, he's not great.
He's not very good at all.
Somebody said that Roundtree fights like Sean Strickland says he's going to fight, and I 100% agree with it.
I like Roundtree, but
I'm
he's
saying-
not gonna do shit.
No, I'm
either.
saying
no. I'm
Roundtree,
saying.
yeah.
I was thinking Buckley.
Khalil Roundtree.
No, Roundtree fights like Strickland.
Like Strickland talks
Thinks he
about
fight.
it, and it's like
I
Sean
love
Strickland-
Roundtree. I thought you said Buckley for some reason.
No, Buckley at 170 is
Yeah.
fine. He's too small for 185.
He's not gonna do shit at 170 either. But
Not against the wrestlers.
I love Khalil Roundtree. That guy's a
Did
great.
you think Magomed Ankalaev won his fight? I didn't get to watch
Yes.
it.
Yeah.
Did he?
Yeah.
So, co-main event.
He though, I'll say this: he does have power. I do like his aggressiveness and his power. I thought Rakic was scared of him. But he said he's not gonna wrestle with Alex Pereira. He should wrestle.
He's not a wrestler though.
He could wrestle. Magomed, yeah, he can.
They said he only has like a handful of takedowns. And
No, he's
like
preferably a
almost-
striker, but he can wrestle.
Why, if you were
I hope
fighting
so,
a guy
bro.
who you watch do this to everybody, would you not? Why would you go in there?
Especially there's levels to it.
Why would you go fight his fight?
Yeah, there's levels to it. Like his level of wrestling to Alex, he can butt fuck him wrestling wise. But if he goes in there with Paul Craig, like how he got finished by Paul Craig, he does not want to be on the ground with him.
Maybe I think differently, but if I went there and fought, let's say, if I went there and fought Khabib, I would, and then I fought Alex, you'd be like, this guy, what does he do for fighting? And it's like, well, I'm fighting the guy that I'm fighting. I'm not fighting.
You know
how
who else
I
does
fight.
that?
Jon Jones. Like, you know what I'm trying to say?
Exactly.
If I went and fought Mike Tyson and they said it's like, I would be like, well, I think I could knock him out boxing. It's like, no, I'm going to try to tackle him.
That's
and
what I
take him
love
to the
about
ground.
Tom
I would
Aspinall.
pull guard and just try
And if
to
I
fucking
fought Paul
get him into
Craig,
the hook.
I would be as far away from him as possible.
We talked about it before the last card. You saw?
People don't do that.
Have you seen Tom Aspinall's breakdown? He's great at that. He really has great fight IQ. And they said, what would you do if Alex came up to heavy? He said, I would rugby tackle. I would sprint across the cage and immediately rugby tackle him. He's like, what do you want? Sit there and stand and strike with him? He's like, no.
I wouldn't.
Way bigger than him, way better wrestler. I would rugby tackle that fucker.
Yeah.
That's
Khamzat.
exactly the right answer.
Khamzat broke Robert Whittaker's jaw.
Teeth.
No, he slid. So Rob has this condition where his teeth are loose, like very easily moved, and
He
he's had it
pushed his
happen to
teeth back.
before. And his jaw's not broken, but he felt his teeth move back, and sure
His
enough,
gums
he did.
essentially moved back.
So he got like
tapped out from that.
He got like
Yeah, I saw the fight. But
he got like
Yeah,
how
he had the
Habib
tap
got
out.
Connor and that kind of jaw crank,
Yeah.
and he immediately as soon as he put his on, his teeth slid back.
I might sound like an asshole, but I don't think I would have tapped out if that were to happen.
You would have tapped out.
I just don't think so. I think that's kind of weak.
I think you're thinking.
That's
I
like
get
when
what you're
guys
trying to
in the
say.
that's like when guys in the NFL fall down and hurt their shoulder and they lay on the ground. It's like, get the fuck off
if your
the field.
gums move back, you would tap out.
I don't know, man. I have a pretty good.
I
pain
think if
tolerance.
Robert Whittaker would cower out, or I'm not saying he did, you would for sure.
I don't know, man.
I do.
I do.
I feel
Sorry.
like all right, that's fine. I mean, I don't care what you guys think of me.
I'm just saying.
But
I don't even think that's a negative to say.
I think he's a fucking pussy for doing that. I'll say it. I like Robert Whittaker, but that's...
I'll say this because I get...
Connor, too. It's like, if you're not about, like...
Connor's tackles.
If you're not getting choked out, like... And even if the guy breaks your jaw, it's like, I mean, I'm not saying, he breaks your jaw, but it's like, dude, like, he's not...
Like Colby Covington against Usman, he's like, I think my jaw's broken right now, and he's like, I'm going out there to fight.
You're here to do... What are you... You're here to do that.
Which you give Colby Covington all the shit you want.
That's dog shit right there.
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm telling you right now, you can say what you want. I don't think I would have tapped out from that. And
I don't think Robert should have tapped out.
I think he's kind of a pussy for that.
I don't think he should have tapped out.
For all the shit, too, about like all these guys, and I get it.
He's like, my teeth got pushed back. It's like, can you still fight? He's like, well, yeah, I can, but it's my teeth are back. It's like, we'll fix it after.
I mean, like, you just
want... The teeth are still going to be pushed back.
And, like, the way I look at it is like, you did 3 months of work, 6 to 8 months of work because this fight got canceled, and, like, I could see you're fine. Where it's over, it's it. This is how this ends.
I agree with you. He shouldn't have, but I also you would 100% tap immediately.
There's been fighters who've had teeth getting knocked out of their mouth and the ref was picking it up.
Anthony Smith.
Right.
I think that's a little different. Like your teeth just falling out.
His gums were...
Then everything...
Like his teeth didn't fall out.
I know that.
His gum, where it's at, right here now.
So it's just pain.
If you felt that...
It's like his gum
So his pain. He was pain.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's just his face is rearranged. He doesn't know. That's because push it back and then keep fighting, and he punches it, and now
like saying if I was
gum flies out of his mouth. What's he gonna do?
My knee popped, I would fight through it.
I think so would Robert Whittaker.
I'm not saying I would.
I think that's a different rearrangement of something, though.
I think the opposite. I think if your knee popped out and you physically can't walk and whatever, that's different than...
No, I'm saying I think they both... I think you tap for both. Your knee popping and your teeth moving.
I'm way more likely to tap if my knee
Dustin Poirier against Islam took a accidental headbutt and broke his nose, and he slightly tore his ACL, and he continued to fight.
Yeah.
I think if his teeth got pushed back, he would get tapped immediately because he's like...
I think so, man.
Maybe Dustin's is definitely a different level of dog.
I also don't... I feel like a broken nose and torn ACL, like I saw Rondo finish a basketball game, it's obviously different on that. With that adrenaline, you kind of get through it. I think your teeth dislodging and your gums moving is a different type of thing where you're like, fuck this, I'm out type of thing like that.
I just think that's really fun.
Oh, if my face shifted, I would have got out a gun.
Think about when the dentist just goes into your jaw, into your mouth. You're just like, this fucking is uncomfortable, this hurts and everything like that. Then imagine a 200-pound man who, Lord knows how much he lifts and everything.
Smells awful.
And is squeezing with all his might, and your teeth start to shift and everything like that. You're like, yeah, get me the fuck out of here. Connor just wanted out. Connor wants out.
I think Robert the same thing.
I like this Khamzat much better. He's just being himself. I feel like he was trying really hard to be like this shit talker or this big.
He said he's like, I'm older now, and you're like,
he has a kid. He's like, I literally think about everything I do and think my kid's gonna see this, and what kind of man's he gonna think I'm gonna be? I think he's just being himself now, and I like it.
With the main event, Ilia does knock out Max Holloway. I thought after like the second round, I was like, I feel like Ilia's chances are diminishing in terms of getting, like, Max is kind of getting away from those exchanges. But, pride gets the best of you, and he tried to get in there and exchange with him, and it's like, dude, Ilia's the guy when it comes to putting people out in those type of firefights.
Ilia's so good, man.
What's like with people against Ilia, like people like Volk and Max, like Ilia's not going to move them back behind the black line, or they're not going to move behind the black line. It's like, that's not necessarily your choice all the time. Like, if Ilia's coming forward,
you're moving back.
You kind of, I mean, if you want to go meet him in the middle, I fucking respect you.
Oh, the fight will end in the middle right there, then.
It's the same thing with, like, people saying, like, fighting Khabib, like, or Khamzat, like, just don't move back. It's like, it's pretty fucking hard to do.
Go meet in the middle, don't get on the cage. It's like,
Connor was moving forward, and he leaned down once and then punched overhand right and almost broke his jaw. Like, it's not, people say all this shit, and I'm not saying you have to be someone who's been in the cage, but, like, you'll watch with mom, and she's like, he's not doing anything. Why doesn't he just get up? And it's like, I'm pretty sure he's trying very hard to get up.
The last two Abu Dhabi cards, I could be wrong about this, but I believe the favorite has won every single fight. The favorites went 13 or 14-0 on this.
Might have. And well, this is the thing though, like too though, like what I will say though, like Merab Sean, it's like immediately, it's like, why aren't you throwing kicks up the middle? The best person that I've ever seen have a wrestling like game plan, and these are two bottom level guys in the top 10 are Chiesa, Holland. Every time Holland threw a combo, they finish with a knee or an uppercut up the middle, and it's like, because if he shoots, I'm catching him, and these guys try to finish with leg kicks. It's like body, and uppercut a knee. And Sean started doing that at the end of the 5th round, and it started hurting Rob. So I was like, well, I don't know what
He
the
did
fuck.
hurt him with like a minute left.
So it's the same thing like with Whittaker, especially with that karate stance. It's like you could easily throw these side kicks to this guy's gut and everything.
'Cause I wanna
that.
win.
I wonder,
I
like
wanna win
Sean.
my
I think
way.
Sean never wants to be like a bitch or complainer. I think he's tired of that. He had to get hip surgery. He's like, I fucked my hip up before the fight, and I have to get it immediately.
That's the thing. You got hip surgery. And I'm
How
like,
does that? That has to affect you heavily.
You can't sprawl.
You
can't
can't
throw
do
kicks.
anything.
You really can't do
He
anything.
should have pulled
and
out of the
everything
fight
like
when you
that.
think about that.
Yeah. It's kind of tough though.
I guess
with
it's better
fighting.
for him mentally though that he went in there like that, and then hopefully his team's good enough to watch the end of that fight and go on a torn hip. Look what you're doing to his. Going
You
to
know
his
he
body and
wants to
everything
so
like that.
badly be like, hey motherfuckers, my hip was whatever. Like that was why I lost the fight. But he's like, but then I sound like a bitch. Like I don't.
As long you don't have to say it publicly, but if you and your camp know, but you can also look back at the tape and go,
Come
we
back
need to do
and
what we
beat
did at
him
the end
and
of the
then
5th
we'll
round.
talk.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
and
he said it
everything
after
like
Aljo
that.
fight. He was like, oh, if he would have got me down, I was fucked because my ribs are fucked.
Yeah,
Come back and win the fight, and then we'll talk. If he
Yeah,
gets
that's
a hip
true.
surgery and goes back, and the same thing happens, and it's like,
He's a very injury prone guy as well.
well, yeah, I mean,
Very, very injury prone guy.
weird body type.
fragile.
Besides, okay, so I talked about this before. I made a comment about the UFC doing too many events. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So in October we had the Tuporia event and the Roundtree. It's like I feel like if they mix those into just one a month, like I feel like
That could have been the greatest card ever.
well, and
Because
because
both cards were kind of underwhelming below it.
well, here's my problem is
Oh, not Ilia. Not Ilia. That card was great.
we're doing a random card here on the 23rd of Jon Figueiredo, where I feel like
That could be on a main
the
card.
third
of the
fight
paper.
is Bo Nickel and Paul Craig on this card, and it's like, I mean, yeah,
I'd rather see Jon.
I don't really
Figueiredo.
want to tune in until Oliveira Chandler.
Last week, you watched Carlos Prates? I probably not.
Mm-mm.
That guy's great.
So they knocked out
Oh, I did
Yeah,
watch. I
man,
did catch
he's
that
a
fight.
great fighter.
Yeah.
He's an exciting fighter.
Neil Magny's one of my favorites. I like him.
Why?
He's just a dog.
He got knocked the fuck out.
He's one of those guys that you put in a guy who's coming up, and then you're like, oh, dude, this guy's actually like this guy that they're talking about is supposed to be really good, and Neil Magny's in a fire.
Neil Magny's a gatekeeper for sure.
100. That's what I mean.
And that's all-
I like those guys.
That's all he needs to be, and he's tough. It's the same when he fought the Canadian guy, and he was getting fucked up for
And then he
two
finished
and a half rounds.
Yeah,
And the Canadian and Neil Magny was like, "All right, I'm gonna get on top of you and just pound the fuck out of you."
I know. I like Neil Magny.
Yeah, he's definitely a dude that it's like a guy like Carlos Prates where he has a lot of hype around him. He's knocking everybody the fuck out, and he's exciting. And people are excited about him.
He knocks Neil Magny out. You're like,
Oh,
shit.
Yeah, if he,
He
can't
really
Neil
do
Magny beats him. You're like, see, he's not there.
You're like,
yet.
see, he's not.
Another
But
one.
when he knocks him out, you're like, oh, he's actually what people are talking
I'm
about.
surprised we never got Magny Holland yet.
You see the knockout with Prates?
'Cause those
It
two
wasn't
guys-
like a clean. It was just like
Yeah, it
he,
was
he
weird.
like
That's
barely
what it
scraped
was.
right on the perfect spot, and he's out.
That
The
shows how much
problem
power he
with
has.
the fight that you said. What does that? What does that do for who?
What?
Holland and Neil Magny. It's like, okay, you just went from 8 and 9 to you're now 9 and you're now 8, and you're still gonna fight the same guy. Like, I mean, it'd be cool to see like a BMF style thing where it's like you two are always fighting these guys. What happens if you fight each other?
I'm just the guy though in
It
the
doesn't
rankings.
do anything
It's
for
like
them.
if you're looking for somebody to fight, just fight the guy in front of you. It
Yeah,
doesn't always
yeah.
have to be a 3 and a 9. It's like 9 and
No,
8.
what I'm saying is if there's two guys that are one's up and coming and one's decent, like ahead of them and one's behind them too, it's like we'll have one of them fight him and one of them fight him because if those two fight, it's like you guys are just mushed in the middle of a pack
Essentially,
anyway.
7 through 10 is just fighting up and coming guys type of thing like that. And I
Or-
get that.
Or like
they're-
if you
they're
beat like two
filling
or
in.
three of them, you're like, or filling in, or it's like, you know what, we'll give you a 5. We will see if you win. And it's like, are you going to make a run? And then you lose to 3 and it's like, all right, back down.
This
to this.
ranking system one needs to be fixed, and UFC needs the more like tournament style things.
They
where
said they're
it's like,
fixing it.
Where like I saw that, but also
This
like
sucks, man.
What's the honest?
have a bracket, have the champion facing off against people, but then have like 8, 9, and 7 and 6 fighting each other and moving up and fighting and shit like that. Rather than these guys fucking
It's all awful.
number 1 through 5 is saying they want a title shot next. You guys haven't beaten each other. Fucking beat each other.
Let's get into the NFL.
No.
I'm totally kidding. You want to do picks?
Yep.
Yeah.
What's the records from last card and overall?
I believe 4-1 for me and Eric and 5-0 for Bill.
I made a horrible mistake in the last card. Khamzat has been one of my favorite fighters. I don't know why I picked Robert Whittaker. And
I'll stand by that. I think I truly thought Whittaker was better than that performance. I didn't think Khamzat was going to do that to him.
My whole pick was I like Robert too much. I'm going to go against my heart here
Yeah.
and everything like that. So Drudy went 2 and 3. Bryce went 3 and 2. You both went 4 and 1, and I got the 5 and 0.
Billy with the little undefeated.
And the overall records, Bryce and Drudy are now tied at 5 and 5. on the 2 cards they've picked.
500.
Eric is 33-22. Danny and I both are 34-21.
There you go. Watch me pull away at the end and win again. Last 2 main events, Bill. What's it going to be? 10 fights. What are we going to do? Me and you.
Yes, the last 2. We know him.
What?
She's going to.
He's going to cost it because he's going to try to go opposite of everything.
I'm how many games back?
1.
No, I'm not. I don't have to do that. I should be tied too, but I didn't pick Khamzat like a fucking moron. All right. Well, on this card here, is there anything worth talking about? I mean, they still have a TBA for match 9. I mean, what are we doing here? If they called you right now, how much money would it take for you to get in the cage with David Onama?
12-12.
12-2.
12 to show, 12 to win.
$12,000.
I'd probably be leaving there.
You think you'd walk in there and demand $12,000?
That's the minimum.
Okay.
I would do it for the minimum.
What?
An extra 12 grand.
It's featherweight, so you get to come in and be your weight too.
Doesn't matter.
Definitely.
Him and I probably
Definitely 12.
Yeah.
You think that would be the least you'd take? If they offered you 8,000, if they said 8.
Yeah.
How's this guy minus 320 and the other guy's plus 250 when he's not fighting anybody?
That's what I'm saying. What if they offered you
Can I bet the other guy right now?
5,000?
He does look like a pretty big black guy.
5,500.
The guy's a Muay Thai fighter.
He's 5'11".
I would immediately sit on my ass.
5,000.
Yeah.
Okay. So 12,000 wouldn't be what you'd.
I'm saying if it was off their pay scale, but yeah, 5,000.
No, if you
Damn it,
walked
this guy
in
would
there-
knock us the fuck out.
If you walked in there,
I immediately.
what number
I did
would
Eminari roll the whole fucking time.
what number would you
you
go
would
in there?
you would
and-
leave there getting knocked out, Billy.
What number would
Oh,
you
yeah.
go in there and request?
I got your knee. What?
What number would you go in there and request?
$1 million.
Okay, never mind.
I would go in there realistically and go, bro, I want 6 figures, 100,000. If he's like, we're not giving you that, I'll be like, okay, well, what are you gonna give me? If he's like 12, I'm like, bro, make it 25. He's like, yeah. I'd be like, all right, cool.
What you guys aren't understanding is the people above that aren't making that much money. Is what I don't think you're getting.
But you're asking me to fight this big brolic black guy out of nowhere, and I have no experience.
The liability of it and everything like that.
No. Everything's taken care of. You're gonna leave that with that in your pocket, and you're gonna get medically taken care of, and
Everything's good. I'll take 5,000.
and there's other people that are in the ring for
So
this.
if I get any-
you
I would
walk
ask-
in,
I
it's-
would
if
come
us
in-
3 walk in and they say, "Well, your brother just said he would take $5,000," you're gonna ask for $1 million fucking dollars when you haven't fought anyone.
I would go in and I'd ask, realistically, I'd go 25 grand.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
They would fucking say, "Okay, thanks."
Oh, they would.
Yeah.
I thought Dana would say 25 grand. We're going to give you 300,000 for
Oh,
it.
would they say that? Oh, because they're actually gonna call us up.
Yeah. Can you believe that? He's
As
like-
if this conversation, he's going.
Can you
He's like,
believe-
that's so unrealistic
You would
to
walk
think
in-
that
you
when
walk
Dana
in-
calls you up and says, "Hey, fat ass, you want to come fight this black dude?" and you, like, oh, now you want to get
I would say,
realistic
you know
toward
what,
the
don't
end.
pay me,
How
but
much
can I-
do you
can I have
think-
5 other buddies in the octagon?
Honestly, if this was happening and I was in there, I would go. I mean, I don't know how I'm here at this point. I might as well say, "Fuck it." Can I have $1 million?
What do you think Vivian Arujo and Karine Silva are getting?
They probably have to.
12.
They probably
Okay,
have to.
So what I'm saying is, you wouldn't walk in there and say that.
What I'm saying is, I don't need to fight. Why wouldn't I ask for that?
I don't need to fight.
I mean, fuck.
I would throw. What if I threw a front
Turned
kick?
fucking Canadian.
Yeah. What if I threw a front kick and got 12 plus the $50,000
That's what I'm
bonus
saying.
I'm
and
saying
a new UFC contract?
I'm trying to be realistic about
Anybody
this.
that-
Oh, are you?
Anybody that wants to hire Eric, he'll take less
What
than
I'm
minimum
saying
wage
is
in any job.
no.
he does.
What I'm saying is, they say to us 3, you're gonna go in a room with us separately.
You want me to get my fucking face kicked in, and you want me to go, yeah, 5 grand.
No, I'm saying they walk in and say, "Listen, 12,000 is the max we're going to give you because that's what we're giving everybody else." If you're not going to walk in and say, "I want $1 million for America to watch you fight this guy for 18 seconds,"
I
we're
would
going
ask
to
for a
kick your
Lids- I would-
fucking head
I would
off.
ask for a Lids gift card.
No,
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm saying
Like they're gonna sit there and be like, "Why is the guy in the Notre Dame shorts with the man tits getting fucking $25,000 when I got 12?"
if we went in and they said, "Listen, 12 could happen, but if one of you is not willing to take it for less, but like, what would you actually really take?" Like,
If you said 12 and they were like, "Danny, will you do less?" I'll go, "Yeah." And then they go, "How much less?" I say, "Well, wait till Billy answers, and then I'll do less
Well, I'm
than
saying-
that."
I do prices right. I say 11,999.
I'm saying if they said, "Well, they have both said 5,000, will you do less than that?" Because he said 12, and then he said, "I'd do 12."
I'd say 4,500. I'd say, yeah, 4,500.
Okay, I'm trying to figure out how low you'd go. Like if they said 1,500, I'd be like, "No, I don't." That's not going to do enough.
If they said they're flying me out there and everything like that, and you get to fight, if anything bad happens, we pay.
It's all paid for. That's
everything's great.
It's going to go.
You're going to leave this.
It's yours.
You're going to leave this in your pocket. The lowest I would do it for is $2,500.
Okay, that's what I was trying to get at. We could have done this 10 minutes ago.
And honestly, I'm fucking knocking this piece of shit
what would
out.
you go in and ask for? No, that's two totally different things.
And I did this with Crawford before. We and him always used to have these conversations, and he was this piece of shit where he's like, he said, how much to suck a guy's dick? Well, I would ask for $1 billion. It's like, well, why would anyone give you $1 billion? He's like, well, why would someone ask me to suck their dick? And I'm like, I'm just trying to like have an actual fun conversation here.
Let me ask you another one, Bill. You too, especially. There's 1,000 pills on the table. Okay.
I like this one.
One of the pills kills you instantly. Every other pill, for each one you take, you get $5,000. How many pills do you take?
What did Landon say? Lock me in for 20.
Yeah.
1,000 pills? So what's the percentage chance of that? That's
1 in 1,000.
1 in 1,000 that it's going to kill you.
0.1% chance.
Well, based on
You
my
get how
betting-
much?
Huh?
5,000?
5,000 per pill.
I would.
Based on my betting record, I'd probably say none.
Billy would take the first pill and his head would explode.
Yeah.
Immediately die on the spot and everything like that. Oh,
I think realistically speaking, within the first 400 pills, you're going to die. I do think you could safely take, not safely, but I do think you would be okay with taking 100 and leaving there with what? 500,000? Is that correct?
100 times 5,000?
Yeah, 500,000.
500,000, yeah.
But I would take 50 and do 250,000, $250,000.
I would probably say, do you have to lock in and like, can I take like 5 and then be like, I'm going to keep going? Or do you have to like just say, no, that's what I'm taking? Like, how does that work?
It doesn't matter.
Well, I mean,
Why, if you're not dead after 5, you're like, I mean, what's one more?
if I'm not,
One
well,
more pill's not going to hurt.
well, I don't want to be an asshole and say 10, and then after 5, be like, dude, I don't know why.
Let's do this. Pick your answer.
5.
Hey, Siri. Pick a number between 1 and 1,000. Oh, 800. You're fine.
Okay, good.
But now you've missed out on so much money.
That's the whole thing.
It's like deal or no deal when you take the thing and the briefcase opens and it was like twice the amount you took the deal for.
Now,
Like
what's your number? How many pills you taking?
10.
He said 5. You have a daughter, and you took double the amount.
Yeah.
That's fucking
Hey, Siri.
insane.
I have $1 million life insurance
Pick a
too.
number between 1 and 1,000.
3.
Hey, Siri. Pick a number between one. Pick a number. She did it. 11. Oh my God.
She's listening to you talk.
That's crazy. What a number. Billy picked the right one.
Could you imagine too if they like picked your 11th one and I picked it up and gave it to them and they were like, "This is the one that would kill you."
Yeah, like a deal or no deal style.
You know what would be interesting? We should do this, and none of the pills actually kill you, and see what people take, and then no matter what, at the end we kill them.
No, we should do is you do 1,000 pills, 909 of them don't do anything, and one of them are like a Viagra or something like that, and then that way you can see how many you get before you get it.
Yeah. Or no, like something that makes you shit.
Yeah.
You could just get a random boner. I guess you could get a random stomach ache too. Do one of each. Do a half and half. If you get a
both
boner
often?
and shit, then we know that was the pill. So it's a half Viagra, half laxative.
It's just more of like,
I just imagine Eric goes right into the bathroom because he shit his pants with a rock hard dick.
what we could do is put them all in a bottle and have them pull them out, and one be a different color.
Yeah.
And when you pull that one, it's like, oh, the 27th one
Well, we
was
could
that.
just dye everything like eggs.
We could just do it really, and as soon as he drops dead, we fucking know. Anyway.
What pill would do that?
Mauricio Ruffy or James LL on top?
Have you seen Ruffy fight?
No, I haven't watched it. I haven't ever heard of these two people.
Very fun fighter to watch. I'm going to go Ruffy. See the favorite? Probably minus 280.
He's minus 1,000.
I have no idea who he's fighting. I'm going to take Ruffy.
I'm going Ruffy.
I'm gonna go Ruffy as well.
That upsets me. I wish that was
Rudy
closer.
also took Ruffy.
Ruffy's very fun. Like, seriously, you should watch that fight.
Vivian? Is that how you'd say that?
Know what's weird about this? Main card is not like you said, Bo Nickel, Paul Craig. Well, prelims look fun.
Imagine if they had one of those cards in October and you got one fight from that card on this one and one of those cards from like the Neil Magny card, one of those fights on that card.
Yeah. You got Jim Miller. You got Chris Weidman. You got Jonathan Martinez. And that's your last 3 of the prelims. That's pretty cool. Tybura, Mickey Gall. It's not a terrible prelim card, but it's not great either.
Vivian Araujo or Karine Silva?
Karine Silva.
Karine Silva.
She's minus 275 if that helps.
No, I know. I'm gonna go Araujo.
And that's where I win. That is where I make the big bucks.
Bo Nickel, Paul Craig. Drudy also picked Silva. Bo Nickel, Paul Craig.
Yeah.
I want Bo Nickel to lose so bad, but I just don't care.
Genuinely think he could lose this fight. And you know what scares me? Going in, like guys that have fought for the belt or even had the belt.
You sound like an asshole.
What?
He will not lose to this fucking guy, and if he does,
Magomed Ankalaev has one loss. It's Paul Craig. Jamal Hill had one loss prior to his loss to Pereira, and it was Paul Craig. Like Paul Craig wins weird fights.
He does have 17 wins in his career. He's 17-8-1. It's not like he's
not a bad fighter, and this is a fight where it's like Bo Nickel's like, I want to wrestle, and Paul Craig's like, oh, I'm immediately going to pull guard. Still Bo Nickel.
Yeah. Drudy also picked.
He better not stand up with Bo Nickel for too long either.
Yeah, Bo Nickel.
He's kind of been trying to scrap recently, Paul Craig, but I like Bo Nickel striking, especially with the threat of a takedown.
I don't like him at all.
He's too cocky.
I don't know what he's done to you.
If he could suck his own dick, he would.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
A, there's that, but B, I don't like these guys that I've watched him fight too many times for him to be fighting Paul Craig now. Like, let's get the guy some fucking action.
I think Paul Craig's a good step up.
He's 6-0.
Right.
How many times have you watched him fight? Fucking twice, 3 times.
I think how many fights is he? I've watched every one of his fights in the UFC because
I think 3. I think he was 3-0 when he came in.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if he's supposed to be the greatest wrestler ever. Let's put him in there, get a fucking fight.
Yeah, but he's new to MMA.
Fuck him.
You got to do it how you got to do it. They can't just go, oh, this guy is like one of the best college wrestlers of all time, so he's 185er. We're gonna have him fight Dracus Duplessis tomorrow.
Yeah. And then it's like,
you got to earn your spot.
People say, well, he lost, and it's like, okay, let him get 20 fights under his belt.
The guy fighting the bantamweight champion, Pantoja, is its debut in the UFC.
Debut in the UFC is different than how many career.
That's
MMA,
true.
You know.
Yeah.
That's
you're 3-0 in MMA,
and
that's
like MVP coming over. If he came over 5 years ago, it's like give him an immediate title shot.
Yeah, he's MVP. Bo Nickel though, is it all Bo Nickel all the way around?
Yeah.
Did Drudy pick him as well?
Paul Craig is very Scottish. He's also taller.
Yeah, he picked Bo.
I really like Paul Craig.
I don't dislike him. I hated his whole pull guard shit all the time. I hate that style of fighting.
That's what you're good at. You gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah.
Where is this group chat with Drudy? Oh, he did.
I already saw it. He picked Bo.
Okay.
I remember. I have his last 2.
Co-main event: Charles Oliveira and Michael Chandler. I think the odds on this fight are
a bit far than
a bit, yeah,
egregious.
I'd
put him a lot closer.
Charles Oliveira, Michael Chandler. So here's my only problem with this fight: if Chandler loses,
now what?
There's a 0% chance he fights Conor McGregor. And if Oliveira wins, does he fight Conor McGregor?
There's a 0% chance I think Conor McGregor ever fights in the UFC ever again.
There's no way it's 0.
I mean, do you see it happening anytime soon?
It's not 0. It's got to be higher than 0.
1.
Okay.
I would say like 14.
Oliveira wins this fight. I think one of his next 2 options are Max Holloway for the number 1 contender or fight for the belt.
Hold on a second.
This guy should not touch a belt again.
How the fuck would Max Holloway be a number 1 contender at this weight class?
By fighting Charles Oliveira for it.
How there's got to be somebody he has to fight before.
Max Holloway beat Justin Gaethje.
Yeah,
he's currently number 5.
Again, Justin Gaethje though, he's going to be Khabib's biggest threat. He has this knockout power. He wrestled in college and he got fucking mauled.
He does suck.
And then
it took way too much.
Islam's going to be dangerous. He's going to be dangerous to Islam, and Max Holloway beat the fucking piss out of him. So Gaethje and Islam will never fight.
No.
But
if Oliveira wins against Chandler, he's probably the number 2 contender behind Arman, if he's not already.
I thought you were going to say something about top something all time, and I was going to break this microphone.
No.
Head.
And I think Max Holloway.
That was a thing, though.
Yeah.
People.
Oliveira, yeah.
He would have beat it. He would have beat Khabib.
If he would have beat Islam, he would have been the best lightweight of all time, in my opinion. Lightweight's not like it doesn't have much of a history.
Charles is currently ranked number 2.
Behind Arman.
So
if he wins this fight, he could very realistically fight for the
Gaethje,
belt.
4 is Dustin, 5 is Max, 6 is Dan Hooker, 7 is Chandler. I do believe. So yeah, Charles Max next for the number 1 contender.
Charles belt next.
Is Islam fighting anyone?
He's fighting Arman.
Arman is signed, I think, for like
January.
Yeah.
God,
March.
I hope Islam beats the fuck out of that dude.
What's your problem with Arman, man?
He's mad at you for liking
Arman
so much.
I like Arman. Arman, come on the show, man.
Everybody was on Charles' dick, and I like Charles, and then he fought Arman, and everyone wanted Arman to win for some reason. Now, then you've been on Islam's dick before he was even like supposed to be this good, And now you want Arman to beat Islam.
I'm still think I don't want him to beat Islam.
I hope Islam kills that fucking guy.
I don't want anybody to beat any. I do want people to beat people, but when it comes to
don't lie.
no,
I just don't want anybody to get hurt.
oh god, yeah.
All right. See you at episode 19.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Islam Makhachev. I always have been. You know that. And I said Islam Makhachev is going to be champ. You were like, no idea who that is. I said Arman's going to be fighting for a belt. No idea who that is. I really like Arman. You know, I'm big in the Armenian community. I have a big name in there. And he's Armenian, he's Georgian, he's Russian. I think he's a dog. He beat Charles Oliveira, which people were like, "Oh, he's never gonna beat never gonna beat Charles." Close fight, close fight, but he won.
To see how dominant Islam beat
Was
Charles
versus-
and Charles versus Arman was close.
Yeah, but styles make fights.
Islam is gonna fuck that dude up.
Arman and Charles, they can stand up with each other. Charles has no business standing with Islam. Arman has no business standing with Islam. I think Arman's not going to... I think he's going to try to take Islam
I
down.
would say, do you think Arman has as much dog in him as Dustin Poirier does?
No.
Because that's the only way to beat these guys is to have that absolute dog in your
I think he does.
body. And I don't know if he does or not.
I'm telling you he does it.
You see that fucking guillotine he was in against Charles?
Yeah.
He was purple. He should have been asleep in his short.
But also so Charles put a fucking Tony Ferguson in the fucking armbar and it tap. Maybe Charles just isn't good.
Charles sucks.
No, I'm kidding. But
yeah, Tony's a dog too.
it's easy to say. It's easy to say. Like
I want to pick last on this.
No.
Yep.
No.
Yes.
I do. I think Charles always has the threat of him getting caught because it's just Charles the way he fights. But I think he beats Chandler. I think he finishes him.
Rudy also picked Oliveira.
Yeah. Also,
You
saying
go.
ours at the same time on 3.
Oliveira. Hold on. Oliveira fought at UFC 300 in April.
Oh,
Michael Chandler hasn't fought since November of 2022.
Jesus.
2022.
It's been 2 years.
Oh man, that makes me more
He got
worried.
He got subbed by Dustin Poirier.
Yeah, that was a good fight though.
That was fantastic. That first round was the best. One of the best rounds
And
I've
I
ever
believe
seen.
Michael Chandler has a lot of dog in him.
If you make a fight card that you want someone to watch, that guy 100% is on that card. No matter, there's no questions.
Honestly, you could just
all
make
time, anything.
You could make an all 155 main card, and you'll be fine.
No, I don't even care about that. I'm saying if you made a card from the beginning of the UFC until now,
and you have a main card and you want exciting fights, he's on it.
I don't care who or what. I don't even know if I would
fight
put
a kangaroo.
I don't know if I would put like Jon Jones on it.
For excitement wise,
Yeah.
I'd rather have Chandler on it.
There's not a question.
A Dan Hooker, a Chandler,
Justin Gaethje's be on it too.
Justin Gaethje, a Max Holloway, Dustin Poirier,
I don't know.
Ilia Topuria would probably be on it for me.
Ilia.
No, not exciting. Well, maybe.
He's fucking knocking someone out.
Like not to be like this guy, but I'd rather have like Michelle Pereira than Topuria.
No.
I'm not gonna. I mean, that guy's doing backflips off the cage.
Yeah, but then that's like
Limp
picking
bodies.
the one-eyed guy.
Yeah, probably.
I don't.
Shara.
I
could pick him excitement wise, especially Michelle Pereira has some boring
But
fights.
I will say-
Pereira and that, and I can't remember his name for some reason, but I'm like they're exciting against that, but it's like I want excitement like
thinking Johnny Walker.
Chandler and Dustin Poirier. It's like that's an excitement because they're also fucking top tier.
Doesn't matter who Chandler fights, he's going to be exciting.
Like Chandler, Dan Hooker was exciting.
That's what I'm trying
Chandler
to say.
Tony Ferguson was exciting.
Yeah,
I'm saying, yeah. Who's been in all those fights?
Huh?
Michael Chandler.
Michael
I
Chandler.
agree.
All right, on 3, say it because you can't do this. I'm up by a game because I have to have to wait it. Because he could just pick the same people as me.
I don't like this. I don't like this fight, and I'll explain why after my pick.
It's because it's on record doesn't mean you can't change it.
Okay, I'll explain mine.
No.
I'll explain mine why I don't like this fight after my pick. Let's do this. Billy, you count.
Don't.
Don't pull some bullshit. Fucking say your name.
No, here's the thing: is I want to go opposite of him regardless.
Don't be a just.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
God, that's awesome. When
When
stuck.
Big. You know, like sometimes you just think it,
No, yeah.
and it's like this is what he's being. I gotta say it.
God forbid, though.
You count, Bill. Don't do this.
It's a new America.
Don't be a yeah.
On 3.
On 3.
Like when he says 3 or 1, 2, 3.
When he
go.
says 3.
Okay.
1, 2, 3.
Michael Chandler.
See, I knew that was going to happen.
Just stick with it. I think. Here's my thing. When I look back at histories, especially common opponents, like for instance, why did you struggle against Tony? He's looked awful. Right? Oliveira dominated Tony. But then you look after Tony, he fought Dustin, and he fucking killed him in that first round. Second round probably goes to Dustin, but it's close. No, I think it goes to Chandler. I think he had a lot of ground control time. Third round, you can't. Chandler can't finish fights, and this fight's 5 round. That scares me. Not going to go 3 anyway.
We have one card after this,
Mm-hmm.
and we don't know the main event.
No, Bill, I'll pull it out. But it's more than likely, I think.
Bilal.
Did you see his toe?
Talking about December?
Who was he going to fight?
Shavkat Rakhmonov.
Oh my God! Thank God that fight's not fucking happening.
They believe it's going to be Usman Shavkat now or Alex Pereira Magomed Ankalaev.
It's
They
gonna
said,
be-
they said, Colby said he called them and UFC didn't answer. And somebody said, yeah. They were like, yeah, you don't get another undeserved fucking title shot.
He's a psycho for thinking that. But honestly, like people can shit on him.
Closed mouths don't get fed.
They're like, well, you don't deserve it. He's like, I mean, I keep getting it though.
Who the fuck is Kai Asakura?
It's his debut from Japan,
And
Rising.
he's fighting for a title.
Yep.
That division sucks.
Yeah, it does terrible.
Go Brandon Moreno, Pantoja, Royval.
Royval sucks. He will
Okay,
never
so
be
let me
champion.
get this straight. I'm down by one.
Doesn't mean he sucks.
I'm down one fight.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We've picked all the same people, and we're both going to pick Jon Jones.
You got one more card.
Are we all three going Jon Jones, by the way?
All four.
You're not,
Rudy picked Oliveira for the last fight, by the way.
I believe Michael would pick Stipe. I think he thinks Stipe wins for some reason.
Does he hate Jon Jones?
He doesn't hate him. He just thinks, I think he gets in his head because he's like, people are counting out Stipe too much. It's like, that doesn't mean he's going to win, though. Get what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, Jon Jones.
Someone said it the other day. They were like, he doesn't realistically have a chance. And Michael's like, are you fucking crazy? It's Stipe Miocic. And he was like, I think he wins. I'm like, well, I think you just kind of wanted to. Get what I mean?
Yeah. I get what you're saying now. He kind of doubled down.
He's minus 725 for a reason. I think those odds are correct.
Stipe Miocic is 42 years old, and his last fight was
2020.
Was 2020, March 2021 when he got knocked the fuck out by Francis
Jon
Ngannou.
Jones. Like,
And the Michael Chandler fight, I agree with you. It's hard to beat a guy again twice. But this is a Michael Chandler that's not been fighting consistently. Hasn't fought in 2 years, and Charles just fought in April in a very tough matchup against the second.
Tell you what, I
best
think that
lightweight.
benefits Chandler.
I don't think so.
I think a guy the fights that he gets in needed some time off.
I don't think it hurt him.
The only thing I would say that hurt him is now he's at 39.
38 years old.
The NBA Cup's starting.
What's Oliveira, 36, 37?
35.
35?
Yeah.
I thought he was 36.
A Charles fight against these top guys is always a toss-up because he can get hit. So-
Charles lost that first round against Michael last time and got him.
Yeah.
I don't know. Michael struggles to win these big fights, man.
I'm not trying to convince you out of anything, and that's
No, I'm trying to think. This is truly one of those where I'm like, if I switch to Charles, I don't know. I don't know who to pick here. I think it's 50-50. I don't like these odds being plus 215.
No, I would take.
If you bet Charles, I think you're kind of crazy.
Off of strictly odds, you'd have to go Chandler. So me and Danny picked the same. You picked who? Different?
He picked Vivian Araujo and Charles.
So Ian, what's your record compared to his?
Tied.
You guys are tied? Oh, man.
So I really need Karine Silva to win, and then I can worry less about.
those chicks are both jiu-jitsu people, so I was like.
Yeah, when I see an odds that big, I think like someone's got to
The
be.
thing is, though,
I
all the
don't
favorites won last fight, so it's either Chandler or her.
That's not how that works.
It isn't at all, but
It is. You don't have the numbers.
it is.
It is okay. Well, hopefully it's Chandler. We all said Jake Paul? He's like -2.
And the main event, Jon Jones. So
Also,
Who else is on
I'm going to make a fucking bold prediction
That Cuban
here
bitch?
on this fight, on this card.
With Jake Paul.
yeah, Amanda
Puerto
Serrano.
Rican?
Miranda Serrano.
What I call her?
Cuban
Is it
bitch.
Serrano? Katie Taylor?
Dude, I
Rematch?
don't know.
I don't care. I want to watch Jake Paul.
This
fight
is not
Mike Tyson.
trivia.
But I was
Who
going to
else
say,
is on any-
bold prediction here: Chandler Oliveira fight of the night.
Is there any other good gimmick fights? Am I going to miss out
I think
on
that Daniel Dubois guy's on it or something.
No, I'm talking like, are we getting like Paul Pierce, and
Le'Veon
Tracy
Bell.
McGrady?
I get what you're asking.
That's not happening.
So Max Holloway.
Are those done?
had the
I'm
most
looking.
UFC fights without being knocked out. At
Katie
29
Taylor,
fights.
Amanda Serrano.
Yeah, rematch.
It's actually a good fight. A championship WC welterweight bout between Mario Barrios. He's a good fighter. Like an actual legitimate boxer. Not that
Jake
Amanda
Paul actually-
Serrano isn't or Mike Tyson
Jake
isn't.
Paul
You
usually
get what I
does
mean.
that though to get these guys.
Outside of that, it is genuinely like boxing fights. No one that like.
No gimmicky.
Sorry, Eric.
I legitimately would like if they said like Rajon Rondo and Chris Paul. I don't care what I'd be doing.
I'd turn into that.
I'm 100%.
I love that.
I would. I'm not kidding. You could call me fucking crazy if they said it was Rajon Rondo and Chris Paul and the Jon Jones fight was on. I'm watching Rajon.
Honestly, credit to the Pauls and like the YouTubers because they got that shit popping.
I don't think you understood what I just said.
Right. What'd you say?
If they had Rajon Rondo and Chris Paul fighting and Jon Jones and Stipe Miocic and I had a TV, I would put Rajon Rondo on there.
Yeah, because Jones will be done in one round.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But this is not trivia, just a fact because it connects last card to this card. So Max Holloway had 29 UFC fights without being knocked out. Next in line is Cheeto with 24, Jones with 23, and Pedro Munez with 22.
I saw
Fights?
I saw
UFC
Kevin
fights without
Holland.
being knocked out.
Kevin Holland's in something.
Out.
Yeah,
Knocked down.
knocked out.
23 fights.
Yeah.
For Holland. You didn't say Kevin Holland.
Kevin Holland's not in there.
I think he should
UFC
be.
fights.
I think he has 23.
UFC fights,
No,
not
he's like,
career
He's
fights.
like 14.
Okay, I guess I'm wrong.
No, I'm talking about knocked down.
I'm talking about knocked out.
I understand.
Holland got knocked down.
No, he didn't.
I guess they didn't count it.
And then also, Daniel Cormier at light heavyweight was 7-2. At heavyweight, he was 12-2. Who are his 4 losses to? We already know. The 2 guys fighting in the main event this weekend.
Stipe Miocic and Jon Jones.
Did he fight Francis Ngannou?
Who?
Daniel Cormier?
No.
I think
No.
that would be pretty interesting.
I don't think he did.
And then some trivia for you.
Okay.
The shortest span in days between 3 title defenses. There's 1 woman and 3 men on here.
Shortest span
Mhm.
in 3 title defenses.
Ronda
Out.
Rousey.
Ronda Rousey's second with 189.
Great guess.
So,
Out.
189 days and she had 3 title defenses.
Yeah.
He's a
That's
dog.
once every
That's a
2 months.
businesswoman right there. Alex Pereira.
First with 175.
Wow. Amazing. 3. Jon Jones.
Jon Jones is fourth with 210.
He's 4th?
Yeah.
We're missing
I don't
one
think he
guy.
fought that much.
Missing one guy, he older guy in the beginning of UFC.
Randy
Big name.
Couture.
No, but
Chuck
Tito.
Liddell.
Tito Ortiz, 195.
Ortiz.
Ortiz.
Tito Ortiz.
Ortiz is arch nemesis.
Mm-hmm.
And then, so the top 5 rankings of the heavyweight right now is Jones, Aspinall, Gane, Volkov, and Pavlovich. Give me an order who has the most KOs in their career.
Most KOs in their career.
Yeah,
In order.
in
Of
order.
what? I'm sorry, I was not listening.
Of what? I was like, what?
In
This
order
is
of
like
what?
Canadian Football League
In
Yeah.
order of what?
of most knockouts.
In
Just
just
ask the question again
Yeah.
and pay attention.
Here are the
Sorry.
top 5 heavyweights in rankings right now.
Okay.
Jones,
Mhm.
Aspinall,
Mhm.
Gane,
Mhm.
Volkov, and Pavlovich.
Gotcha.
Give me an order from most to least who has the most knockouts in their career.
I'm going to say the
UFC.
most knockouts is Aspinall.
No.
He's second.
No, the most. Well, if you're just
Can I-
gonna
let
do
me.
that.
Okay, so 5 guys in the top 4. 2 guys are tied at third.
Okay. What?
Is it knocked out with their left or their right hand?
The most? God, I know it's. Is it Pavlovich?
No, it's Volkov.
Volkov is number 1
Fuck.
with
He has so many
24.
fights.
He said
Jon
it's
Jones-
Aspinall. Okay, he's
Jon
second.
Jones is 5th.
No,
Tied for 3rd.
Jon Jones is tied for third.
He's driving me crazy when he does.
Jon
this.
Jones is tied for third with 12.
He said, you know what he said? Aspinall's first. No. Okay, he's second. What are you gonna do next?
Shut-
Oh, it's third.
You need to
He's
stop.
got to be.
At least I listened to the fucking question. I didn't have to
Well,
get it
until
told
you
4
don't.
times.
Until you don't.
Okay, so first is Volkov.
Is Tony Parker on this list?
No.
Fucking
Who's number-
retard.
who's- yeah,
Number 2, Aspinall.
no.
Sergey Pavlovich.
Pavlovich number 2 with 15.
Aspinall's tied with Jones.
Aspinall and Jones are tied for third with 12 knockouts in their
And then
career.
Cyril Gane is 6.
Is fourth with 6. Yeah,
Come on, I'm a fucking dog.
You're an idiot.
I just thought this is interesting because Jones and Aspinall are clearly connected, and they both have the exact same amount of career knockouts.
Yeah,
Connect.
and Jones has over twice the amount of fights.
Well, Jones has 19 total finishes.
It's actually very
Aspinall
impressive.
Has 15.
He's 15 for 15.
He's 15 for 15 with 15 finishes. Jones has 19 out of 29.
How many knockouts for Aspinall? 8 and 7 or something? Or you said 12.
12 for
12
both
and
of them.
3 submissions?
3 submissions. Jones has 7 submissions.
If you look at his losses too, he had an early loss in his career at the start of his career a long time
the
ago.
3, I was like, the third one doesn't count against Blades.
The one before that was an injury as well.
Oh, okay, then there you go.
He really hasn't lost since his first loss, a true loss, and that was over like 10 years ago.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
And
Jon
then-
Jones has never truly lost.
The
Fuck
most
that guy.
heavyweight title defenses of all time.
Heavyweight title defenses, Stipe 1,
Stipe's 1 with 3.
DC 2,
Nope, 4 guys tied with 2.
not DC.
Let me give you one of the guys.
Lesnar.
One of the guys is Sylvia, who has 2. And then Brock Lesnar has 2 as well.
Verdum.
No.
What's his name?
Yes.
God damn it.
Oh, Roy Nelson.
Frank Mir.
No.
Cain Velasquez.
Cain Velasquez.
Yeah, fuck you.
And then last
Pussy.
one. One more.
Junior Dos Santos.
Older.
Older than Junior Dos Santos?
Do people consider him the GOAT sometimes?
I hope not.
Okay. This is going to drive me nuts.
It's usually the first one out of your mouth when I say older.
Randy Couture?
Yes,
I thought he was light heavyweight.
he was both.
That guy sucks.
He was the
dude.
first
Fuck, I
guy
was
to
gonna
win
guess him
two
at medium.
titles in the
Yeah.
company. I think.
I might have to go rewatch those guys' fights, but I don't think they were very good.
I don't want to say it, but I think I could kick his fucking ass.
I agree. I don't think, man.
No, Couture was good.
My
That
question
cat
is,
was dead.
if he fought, well, I guess that's one of the better guys. Like, if he fought Rakic, I think Rakic might kick his fucking ass.
Yeah.
Right.
Randy Couture could wrestle, though.
He had a dog in him too.
Yeah, but the wrestling like I said, it's different because you're just plopping.
No, wrestling is kind of
Do
like...
you think wrestling has evolved? Like it's Jeff Hardy versus fucking.
Oh,
Ric
wrestling's
Flair?
for sure evolved.
It's evolved, but I don't think
Everything's
it's evolved as much as, like, striking has and whatnot.
Not even that.
Why
Just in
not?
terms of combining them together.
Because there's just certain new things that are discovered, and guys get quicker and better and more athletic.
Right.
Or-
That's what I would agree with. I would argue.
But
that
wrestling comes a lot of the time just comes down to technique. Like Jon Jones' technique will work in 100 years, and 100 years before.
It was like people saying Nagano now can wrestle. It's like, no, Jones doesn't need to lift him over his head. He just needs to take him down. You see what Jones said after Stipe? He said he'd fight Alex after that.
And that's it, kind
And
of.
he said, doesn't
Why?
have to be for the heavyweight belt. It could be for the BMF belt.
Why? I feel like Aspinall would be the last guy to go out on if anyone. Alex is not a heavyweight.
Bigger name.
I think Jones is
Don't think
also.
so.
Jones knows what it
I
means for
think
his
Jones
legacy.
likes to be a prick too.
I think he does, and I think he also knows he beats Alex easily at heavyweight, and Aspinall...
I would say of the
Think he
remaining, the
loses.
big,
Of the remaining people, Tom's the
big-
biggest threat.
the big three heavyweights left are Nagano, Aspinall, and Pereira. Let's just throw them in there. Jones mops Nagano and Pereira. Aspinall's his
I
toughest
think
fight.
he mops Pereira. Him and Ngannou at this, where they're
Stage,
at now,
he would beat him.
he would beat him, and I think he would lose to Aspinall. If you want me to put a prediction out there,
I think he would dominate
Pereira
Alex.
dominate.
I think he would finish Ngannou, but he to me he doesn't look like
Fantastic.
very sharp training.
John?
Yeah,
No, he doesn't look great.
at all. It's
No.
kind of worrisome after this fight.
Well,
I mean,
he's,
this fight.
and here's the thing.
What I hope happens is he fights Stipe, he wins and says, "I'm probably done. I think I'm going to retire. I'll see how I feel." And then he gets hurt in training and says, "Listen, I'm done."
Here's the
'Cause
thing.
I don't want to see him lose.
Ring rust.
And that's I love him too. I
What'll
see
be
the look
worse,
on your
Jones
face.
losing or Undertaker losing?
Well, the thing is with that is it's fixed, and I don't see what the point of the whole script thing is. And then you're going to ruin a guy's
Why
whole
ruin
thing
the script?
with Brock Lesnar, who's like a fucking nobody, to me.
Any hooser.
So it seems like Undertaker really upset you.
Yeah, that was fucking disrespectful.
Jon Jones did not look. He even said he was like, I felt goofy on the feet. He looked
He looked horrible.
horrible on the feet. Obviously, he's fantastic IQ
He
and
threw
wrestling.
like a kick and like spun, and it was like, dude, you look
like spun,
unathletic.
like, and it was
He's
like
coming in
oof.
13 pounds lighter.
Here's the thing: you can't expect him to move as well with that much ring rust. 3 years older, 40 pounds heavier. You can't expect him to move as well.
Yeah.
I'm just like I
Now
said.
he's coming off. He's another year older, and he's coming off a torn pec. People forget he just had an injury.
You watch him fight someone at light heavyweight, like before Gustafsson and stuff, and
His
Daniel
explosive.
Cormier, and you're like, this guy could be in the NBA. The way, and then
You said he's coming in.
like,
You said he's coming in lighter.
sheesh,
Lighter.
13 pounds.
People are saying he's coming at 235 instead of 248.
Who
I
are
love
people?
that because I don't think he needs the weight to beat Stipe.
No.
The weight, he could have an arm tied behind his back and beat this monkey.
I think he will need the weight for Aspinall. That's what.
Oh man, I think he needs everything he can get.
Yeah.
I think he might have to shoot something in.
Yeah. He might have to use.
Only because I'm telling you right now, if they fought 10 years ago and he was a heavyweight, he would absolutely murder.
I
Tom.
agree.
The problem, like I said, it's just the age goes into it. I can't.
Injuries don't help, and ring rust doesn't help.
Connor fought Michael Chandler. If Connor fought Michael Chandler 2 fights after Aldo, after Eddie Alvarez, he would have
killed
kicked
him.
the fucking piss out of Michael Chandler.
He
Right
would look
now,
like Eddie Alvarez.
right
does.
now, I'm like, oh, I don't know, man, because he hasn't fought in how long. Chandler's been in there.
Same thing with Anderson Silva coming back from his leg break. It's like he's not going to be the same ever
It's
again.
different.
Age, new weight class, ring rust, injury. That all factors.
Because he
in.
got another.
When you're fighting a guy who's like
after he tore his
28,
pec, he got some surgery on something else as well. Because he
Who?
was like, I needed Jones. He was like, I need to get it done. So I just thought I'll just fucking do it while I'm here.
Especially like Eric was gonna say, especially when you're fighting a guy who's a true heavyweight and he's in his fucking prime and he's the best.
that's what I'm saying. You're not fighting like Stipe. Like Stipe,
Like people when they think Alex is big, it's like Tom's much bigger.
what?
Yeah, that's
what-
different.
Look at Tom's legs.
Why was Stipe even considered for this fight?
Because
Jones said so?
it's a big legacy thing, yeah.
I think
don't
it was
think
going
it
to
is.
be like you said, like shortly after Gone, and just be like, let's just do the two goats, and Jones is going to for sure retire.
It's
after
one
that.
of those
because Aspinall wasn't really a thing when Jones beat Gone.
In 10 plus, 20 plus years, people are going to go look back and go, he beat fucking Stipe Miocic too.
No, I'm not.
But think about
We're going to have the knowledge, and then people are, and then like someone like us is going to go, Stipe was 42 and hadn't fought in 3 years.
Only got his name because who filled in for Jones Miocic getting canceled.
Yeah, Aspinall, Sergey Pavlovich.
And that's why now it's become a thing and everything. Before that, Aspinall was coming off his knee and everything like that. So if this would have went according to plan and Jones retired, it'd been like, dang, it would have been nice to see Jones fight Aspinall, but he's retired. Now, because it's drug out so long, now it's like, oh, is he ducking him type of thing like that.
Let's say right now, does Jones? Well, before I say this, I feel like if Jones goes out and beats Stipe like that, like he did Cyril Gone, it's kind of like, I mean, that was kind of not like weak, but like, I want to see him. Like if he goes and fights Tom Aspinall, and he's bloodied and beat up, and he chokes him out like the 5th round. It's like this guy just did it all. If he comes out and liver kicks Stipe, and the guy starts pissing blood on the octagon 10 seconds into the fight, it's like, wow, was awesome.
Stipe with everything he has on his resume, Jones is like, I'm going to beat a guy like that. And then Alex, with everything he has on his resume with all the title defenses, I'm going to beat a guy like that. He's like, Tom Aspinall doesn't have shit on his resume yet.
I'm more saying my thing is like he beat Stipe, like right. That's like Jake Paul beating Mike Tyson. Like, well, look who I beat. It. The guy's what it's like.
I beat Mike Tyson. He's literally 60.
Stipe has not fought since 2021, and he lost.
And he's 42.
So what? That doesn't do anything for me.
Mm-hmm.
And even in terms of legacy,
me either.
It doesn't at all.
He doesn't need to though, Johns.
I'm not saying I don't care. I'm just saying like
he could have been done right there.
Here's what I'm going to say. If people look back and say, who did Jon Jones beat? The literal last guy, I would say Dominic Reyes, because he was undefeated. Like Stipe, I'm like, dude, yeah, I mean, yeah.
Gone.
No, I'm saying, what about him?
That's the last guy he beat.
No, I'm saying the last guy that I would mention and be like, dude, he beat Stipe, this heavyweight GOAT. It's like, that guy was 42. He lost to Daniel Cormier, who Jones fucked
He's
twice.
saying Gone is who you would mention. Cyril Gone.
Why wouldn't you mention Cyril Gone?
No, I'm saying he'd be the last guy on the list I mentioned of like,
okay.
Like if you're like, who did Jon Jones beat? Like Lyoto Machida, Shogun Rua, Rampage Jackson.
Oh, okay.
I would say Cyril Gone,
completely.
Dominic Reyes, Alexander Gustafsson. I wouldn't be like, well, he went up and beat the GOAT at the
and
weight.
Then
it's like,
Stipe also.
I'd be like, well, yeah, I mean, yeah.
That's his least impressive win, is what
That's
you're saying.
100% of his whole career to me. No, even at his age, like it's like this guy's what Stipe was probably sitting there like they put the camera on. He's
the
like,
fuck
me? What?
And that one meme.
He looked at Dana White and was like, do I have a contract with you guys still? I came here to fucking watch this because I thought this was cool. Like,
right.
You know, that's what I'm trying to say.
I got you.
Odds 1 to 100% chance. Do you think Jon Jones does a retirement speech? Obviously if he wins, but
I would think that Jones already has discussed and said, what's the likeliness of the Alex thing? And they've pretty much, I would imagine they've told him. And if he's like, if it's not going to happen within the next 6 months, then fuck it, I'm out.
So what would your odds be? It's based on that conversation.
75%
I don't think he's the type to retire and come back either.
No.
Like I think he'd be dead set. But I also don't know the guy as far as I can.
I think if a year went by and they said Alex wants to come up now, he'd go, okay, I could still beat him.
Maybe. I don't know. I feel like
If
if he cares as much about his legacy as he says, it's like, I mean, depending on if Alex beats Tom Aspinall and beats all these people, then maybe. But
Jon Jones isn't a guy that's going to do like a Conor McGregor where it's like, I don't care about the opponent. I'll sign the fight the week of.
Yeah.
And everything like
Jones
that.
is really smart when it comes to his legacy.
That's what I'm saying. I think if
and that's my thing. I think the reason he sits here and explains why he won't fight Aspinall, he knows I probably lose to him, and that fucks my legacy more than beating him would help.
I think for him,
nothing.
I think for him, yeah, he's like, I think he thinks, yeah, he's like, I think Jon Jones believes he can beat anybody. I think he believes he can beat Aspinall, but he's like, this is the closest I get.
He just knows if I beat him, it does nothing, and I probably more than likely lose to him, and that tarnishes it.
Odds aren't in my favor. It's too much of a coin toss.
More than likely loses either. I think you're an asshole.
I would say 55-45 Jones beats
If
Aspinall.
I put a gun to your head, both of you, and said, if you get this wrong, I'm pulling this trigger. Who wins this fight? Jon Jones.
Why would I take Tom Aspinall?
Because he's right now.
Why would I take Tom Aspinall?
Because he's better than him at heavyweight.
Based off of what?
Based off of he's a true heavyweight and he's a faster fighter and he's in his prime of his life and he's coming off no injuries now.
And then so when you
he's
go
more
into,
active.
If and when you go into that fight and Jon Jones wins, you're not going to think, why the fuck did I pick against the greatest person who's ever walked in this sport and played like?
No, I wouldn't.
Yeah, I would literally, if he loses to Aspinall, I'd be like, I mean, it's obviously because of
You don't
age.
bet against them until they've proven otherwise.
That's what I'm
Cyril Gane, yeah, Jones for sure. Stipe, Jones for sure. Honestly, any other guy in the heavyweight division, Jones for sure.
Listen,
Tom Aspinall.
all the other fighters is 99-1. Jones beats them. I'll say 55-45. Jones beats Tom.
And that's at this age right now.
Yeah, and I think that's what Jones knows, and he's like, why risk that 45?
All right, let's get the fuck out of here.
For a guy who probably won't be the champion in 3 years.
Yeah.
To be honest.
You think
I mean,
that
heavyweight
he's going to
division
go on a
sucks.
run like that?
No shot. You don't. That's not like. There's a difference between catching lightning in a bottle and you doing this since 2011. There's a huge difference.
And the run that you went through, and the shortest title reign.
And the way you won. He wasn't doing the fucking, I won 47, 46, or what is it, 49, 48.
Yeah,
like, he was choking Leo
19
Machida
finishes
unconscious.
in his career.
You guys will be able to say I'm wrong sooner than I'm able to say I'm right. But remember this: if he's fully healthy 3 years from now, Tom Aspinall will still be the champion. You'll have over 6 title defenses.
I'm not saying he won't be the champion, but he'll lose a fight in that span.
I don't think he will.
Also, you have to look at,
Who's coming up? I don't think anyone has.
That's
his
my
number.
whole thing, though. The only reason I would say he wouldn't is because there's nobody good.
If Jones retires and goes and fucks off, the next guy Tom Aspinall fights will be the winner of Volkov Gane. He kills them.
Probably.
Who the fuck else is even there?
That's what I'm saying. That's
Derek
why. That's
Lewis.
why I said 3 years, because I'm like, you got to hope
Give me
one
someone
or two
coming
dudes can come in and.
I thought Gelatin Ameda was going to be something.
That's the thing, too. If Aspinall's the champ in 3 years, does Jones go back and go, damn, he did beat some fighters that would have been great on my resume? He'd been like, okay, these guys are fucking nobody.
For my money,
all
the
suck.
next 2 best guys behind Aspinall were probably Sergey Pavlovich with his power and his ability to
I
wrestle.
like him.
I like him as well. And Curtis Blades, talent-wise.
Don't like him.
Cyril Gane.
Cyril Gane.
Who was he lost to?
Jon Jones and Francis and Gane.
Yeah.
Yeah, Cyril Gane as well. I was going to get to him, and then Aspinall kills all of them.
Curtis Blades just to me always has
Beaten 2 of them, he'll kill Cyril.
It doesn't have that big fight IQ.
Doesn't. He doesn't have the big fight. I'm gonna win it.
Yeah.
No, he doesn't have that. Let's get out of here.
All right. One more card for this year. What's the records? One more time? Do you have at hand?
33-22 and 34-21 for Danny and I. Not going to change.
That's crazy. I'm just saying, like, pretty good.
I'm 9-1. I'm 9-1 the last 2 cards.
Damn, that's pretty good. And you're tied with him. Just goes to show at the beginning of the year if we didn't fuck off how that would have went, huh?
We also skipped 301, so imagine.
Yeah, rightfully so. All right, well, we'll see you before 309, which would be episode 19. I realize next year I'm going to be 28, and my birthday's on the 28th. That's something that people talk about, right?
It's a golden shower birthday.
Right.
Oh, perfect. Everyone that I know that comes to my party pisses on me.
Then you have to be gay.
All right.
That's when you find out if you're gay. At 5, I knew I wasn't.
Oh, I guess. So I'm still not. It's to be determined.
How old were you when you lost your virginity?
23.
That's insane. That's when he found out he was gay. What was his name?
Got you there. 23. What were you?
16. Maybe not 16.
No. Were you?
No, 16.
When did you lose your virginity?
Junior year, April.
Oh, so after I did.
She was 45.
She was 32.
And his mother.
Maybe not. No, April's when it. So.
You didn't hear that one.
Yeah, I did. Maybe February. So I was 16 and not even a half.
What was her first, middle, and last name?
You have a social security
I
number?
don't remember her middle name. But I'm not going to say it.
All right. Okay, good. I was just hoping I could get you to quick snap.
That was a crazy, weird thing.
What, the sex?
Oh, it was 4 seconds. But, no, it was just weird how it went about.
Were you forced to do it?
No, she didn't put a gun to my head or anything.
Do you think that's why you're so sexually active now?
She wouldn't let me
you
have
were-
sex with her.
You were forced to have sex against your will on your
He
first
sounds like a
time?
doctor. You think that's why you're so sexually active now?
You think that might correlate to maybe why you're so sexually active as we speak?
Do you have a porn addiction? Is that why you're reading so much?
I don't watch porn.
I am going to go home and shag.
I have the opposite of a porn addiction where I don't watch porn.
Because you were watching it so much that you had to quit it.
Because I'm fucking so much that I don't need it. How's that sound, Bill?
So you don't jerk off?
I jerk off.
Dude, I don't understand how you're not 54 pounds. This is unbelievable.
Are you just blowing ghost loads?
What I was going to say with the thing is, no, we were like whatever for like 6 months, like talking together, whatever. It was never official, but whatever. And she would just, I don't want to give too much information, but she would not let me have sex with her. She's like, no, it's whatever. I'm like, okay. And then
Is
she
this
was
going
like,
to be used against you in court of law if you keep talking?
maybe. And then she was like, I think we should, like, I know we're not official, but we should break up, basically. And I was like, okay. And then the next day, she's like, can I come over? Yeah. And that was the first time she let me have sex. And I was like, what's happening? And then she was like, hey, all that. And I was like, I don't like this. This is weird.
Yeah, that would be weird.
Yeah.
So I stopped talking to her. My first ghost. Felt rude.
Well, also because you have to go to the same school for the next 3 months.
Right.
Yeah. And what was I at that point? So I was 17. September 14th.
Man, I would give to be fucking 16 again.
I know, dude. What a life, huh?
If I could go back with the knowledge I had now.
You would just jerk off.
Yeah, I jerk off a lot more.
Yeah.
I go back with the knowledge now and I'm just jerking off.
Oh, you got school. I know what happens.
I was just so horny.
There's a lot of videos, but not enough at the same time, you know? I feel like,
Oh, there's enough.
but I always see the same ones on the first page.
You go to
I think
page
like
2.
70% of the internet's porn.
What's defined as porn?
I'm not doing that. You know what I'm talking about.
No, I don't think 70% of the internet is people having sex on
I think
camera.
there's literally like a trillion videos of people fucking. People be fucking.
Yeah.
It's crazy because you think like how many porn stars or OnlyFans girls do you know? You know them,
0.
but they're everywhere.
Oh, you thought I was going to have an actual answer.
No,
You thought I was gonna say,
that's
like,
my
7.
point. That's my point. They're everywhere.
Like you personally know somebody that has an OnlyFans.
Like at this point, they're everywhere. So you personally be like,
Oh, you know what?
I know one.
Yeah.
huh?
We know one.
2. I know 2.
No, I know like 5, but I don't know them. Does that make
Define
sense?
know them.
I have talked to them.
Have they been in your house?
Well, then I know one.
We need to stop actually right now.
Yeah, but no, exactly what I mean. Like I fought like there's girls that I went to school with or something, and there's like 6 of those.
That wait, like them?
Yeah.
Anyone
Oh, I know 2.
worth it?
Oh yeah.
Really?
Not that I've bought, but I would love to see.
Does it pop up that your name has done that?
I don't know.
I'm gonna make a confession.
Oh no.
I have with somebody else who shall not be named split an OnlyFans to see, and I put
Ryan.
I put Danny's and I put
No,
Danny's
say the story,
and I
block
put
mine out.
Danny's information
Yeah.
in there. So they would email me and be like, Danny McLaughlin, your subscription's about to expire.
Great.
Yeah.
I was in a 6-year relationship at that point.
I thought you were saying you were splitting doing OnlyFans with somebody. I was like, oh, I didn't know you could.
Oh no, but if I could make money, I would actually not be opposed to do that.
How much money would you have to make a year to fully like have? You're with a vet, so I'll ask you. Like your guys' fucking be on OnlyFans and shit. Like your full sex life be on OnlyFans.
Just like so, it's not a thing where like
you don't have to shove a microphone up your ass. Or
No,
something.
well, no, I'm not saying that. I'm saying like my mom's not going to turn on the TV and it's just going to show up.
No, it's only
Like,
it's
you
just
have,
regular. How everybody has an OnlyFans.
With Danny, it might because he left Skin Max on when he was 14.
If I got after taxes, if in my account was $100,000 a year, I would do that.
She wouldn't.
No shot.
How much would it take for her?
I don't even know. That's a question. I'm gonna call her.
I would like that. Yes. After this, we'll get out of here.
Yeah, but if you were paying me 6 figures to have sex on
So
camera,
$100,000 net.
yes. Now, if I mean that's just minimum. So if I got based off views and stuff, if I got more, I would be okay with that.
If it was just my sex life, so it's like
Hello?
net.
I know you're sleeping right now, but you're not dreaming. I have an actual question for you. If it
Net.
was, how did you word this?
How much would you have to make a year after net?
How much would you have to make a year after taxes for like me and you to be on OnlyFans having sex?
What?
Okay.
The correct answer.
I got a smart girlfriend, man. How much would you have to make a year after taxes for me and you to be filmed, our sex life be on OnlyFans?
$1
$1
million.
million. All right. Well, I'll call you in like 10
So
minutes.
she make $1 million, you make 100,000.
Million. Millions? Yeah, you're never going to make it big time.
That's a good answer.
All right. Love you. Bye.
What?
What?
Yeah. Call me crazy, but like I still get to keep my just like the sex life I have is on OnlyFans. Net 50,000.
See, here's the thing: is I only said 100,000 because that'd be all I did for work.
I would like it to be that way.
Right. So if someone said I'll do 100,000, then I'd be like, oh fuck yeah. If someone said I'll do 30,000, I'd be like, well, I'll do it. I meant 100,000 because that's my only source of income. But if someone walked up to me right now and said, I have a check, if you do a 30-year, 10-year contract, and I'll give you $300,000, $30,000 per year, I'd be like, and I mean, obviously I'm still working now. Like, why would I turn that down?
Yeah, what I would do is take the 50.
My dick is average enough to where if someone said it's small, it's like, okay, that's
Oh, who gives a shit about that?
right.
I would take the 50 net, and then I would like keep this. I would just warehouse it the rest of my life, and just like work. I would be leaving as much as I can, like not work and make like probably 30+ K there a year, and have fantastic benefits, and be like, this is what I do.
That's what I mean. Yeah, I'm looking at it as like
Live a pretty solid
This
life.
takes the stress off of you financially.
the one thing
Oh.
that would suck though, which I don't want to say you don't think, but like I do think if like a vet or like somebody else who is a mother of a child, when you're like especially kids now.
Oh, right now I'm saying it's easy for. I would not. My answer, if I was with the previous girlfriend I had of 6 years, it would be like hundreds of thousands of dollars, because it's like we're gonna have a family and shit soon. You know what I mean? You two are gonna have kids, and it's like, oh, remember when we used to do OnlyFans?
Yeah. Your kid comes in from 6th grade with a binder full of pictures of my wiener in her mouth. Yeah. Imagine how my kid would feel. You know, just getting ridiculed all day, and then some of the teachers at
The
school
kid
are
killed
like,
himself because of that.
yeah, I can fucking see how, dude. That's fucked up. You shouldn't do that to people. But I also do think, what's up?
I thought maybe you were attacking someone or something.
Attacking someone?
Like, is there someone in mind that you were saying that you shouldn't do that to people?
No, I'm just saying, like, you got
That's what I felt.
like
That you were being
'cause
attacked.
we used to
Not
be.
me.
I used to be like not like a bully, but I guess kind of just like it was funny to like.
Chris said he doesn't know
mean
how
to-
you guys have so many friends because you guys are mean to everybody.
That's what I'm saying though. But I agree with. I admit that like. I feel like when I was in school and shit, like looking back now, I was like, dude, people like kids would probably go home and people would be like, dude, that fucking Eric kid is a fucking asshole. Like, what is wrong?
Elementary school.
Yeah,
yes.
what is wrong with that kid?
Yeah.
Why were we like that?
Yet again, kids are that young. Who holds anything against
I
anybody?
don't think I'm a
that young?
mean guy at all.
Me.
Okay.
Specifically me.
I don't think I'm a mean guy at all.
I'm turning into a little bit of an asshole lately.
Yeah, you are.
The last few times we went out. But it's not even more of an asshole. I think that I've been disrespected, and in the past, I'd be like, you know what, I'll just let it go. And I don't know what it is right now, but I'm like, I'm not letting that slide.
You have to be assertive, have some boundaries.
There's a certain way to be assertive and have boundaries, though.
Yeah, you're being
I don't think
aggressive.
you're doing it the right way.
Which part?
The aggressive, how you're being assertive.
There's passive.
I think the last
there's-
time I went, I was not as aggressive.
There's passive,
The time
passive, aggressive,
before-
assertive, and aggressive.
Yeah.
You could have said it nicer. You didn't have to fucking flip out. And then it's like, okay, this guy just made this awkward.
I think after I earned some respect.
I felt the vibe was like, dude, chill.
Yeah, but I don't know if he knows the
me.
whole thing about
Yeah,
that.
well,
but
that's
I don't know what happened.
I'll tell
And
you
then,
after.
Yeah, because that's something to tell you after.
All right. Well, we'll end it on that.
Yep.
I feel like this could be a clickbait
We're
episode.
gonna end this on secrets.
Either way, have a good week. First of all, you are kind of getting fat too.
no, I'm getting fat for sure.
Yeah, we'll see you guys before
You guys should
3.
be kinder to each other. Your brothers.
All right, we'll see you after 3:09. Billy, go fuck yourself, and don't be surprised if I switch to Charles Oliveira right before the fight. Have a good week.